fighting just got so...
Welcome to Talk of the Tavern. A little about us, we're your at-home interactive weekly GeekCon, all blended with wit, sarcasm, and a pub-like atmosphere. We're adults talking about adult topics and using adult language. We laugh and make jokes about almost everything. We don't intend to upset, but some folks have their feelings hurt easily. This is all done in humor in the style of the great offenders such as George Carlin, Red Fox, Lenny Bruce, Richard Pryor, Robin Williams, Wanda Sykes, Sam Kinison, George Lopez, Lisa Lampanelli, Chris Rock, and others. So grab your vice of choice, sit back, relax, and get ready to enjoy yourself in the company of great people, hot toddies, and guests alike, because here we come.
Put that long day behind you. Good times lie ahead. With company worth keeping, that'll bash a smile on your head. Come on in, the door's open. You'll find just the finest folks here. Pull up a chair. Open, you'll find just the finest folks here. Let our stories your ear, 'cause we're the talk of the tavern. Here you're always welcome. The talk of the tavern. Promising beer and bedlam. The talk of the tavern. Music, medicine, then some. The talk of the tavern. The song's over. Here we come.
And welcome to June 21st episode of Talk of the Tavern. Goals out. Listen, see that right there? That's what's going on today. And today my vices are going to be 3 different pipes that I'm cleaning up a little bit with a nice English blend. And
hi, Toey.
Toey! And some Zeller Rosé Cats. Andrea's wine that she hated that I'm going to drink instead.
Oh. That was fabulous wine. How dare you?
Oh, she spit in the bottle.
I hate it. I just don't like it.
This, Travis. And then I have this too, which is a cream rum, and I'm going to drink it out of my beaker, if you know what I mean. Yeah. Okay, let me do intros. We'll start with the beautiful, lovely, talented, vivacious Andrea.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Richard.
I was, but then I figured I should start with the one that knows where I sleep.
Richard.
Oh, I know where you sleep.
I have coffee. I have tea, and it's Batman.
Very good. Elizabeth, what
That's
about
it.
you? What do you got? Show them how it's done.
School's out for summer, y'all, and I am drinking Polish beer. And they
Good
did
choice.
lose the last game of the World Cup. It's tragic but true. But I didn't have any Argentinian beer. But Croatia's playing Argentina, so cheers.
That sounds like some kind of primitive attack thing. I think Croatia always sounds like I don't know, some hidden Atlantis subculture that's sacrificing.
Oh, it started. It's on right now.
Yeah.
0-0.
Yeah.
Oh, the
Ooh.
game. I thought you meant the show. I'm like, yeah, I know. I started the show.
Yeah, we're on.
Who else can I introduce? Let's go ahead and start with the shiniest of us all, Richard. What's your vices, buddy?
Hey, Rick.
How you doing this afternoon? My vice of choice today is coffee, and I'm also going to be sampling one of Mrs. Knowles' homemade muesli bars. So may have to take a toilet break.
Is that what you
give you pink eye?
I shall be snaffling Mrs. Knowles' muesli bar.
Is that what you
How
kids
you
are
got
calling
pink
it
eye?
these days?
That's how I got pink eye, yeah.
With lemon. Hey, sorry.
Oh, God.
And speaking of things that make your eyes itch, we also have Daniel Carter of itswood.com.
Hey, everybody. How you doing? Today, what do I got? I got my coffee in my Woody mug.
How much do you charge for one of those?
Oh, I didn't make this. This was a gift, but
Can you make
I,
those?
I can.
How much?
You bet.
How much would you charge for one of those?
We'll talk about it. I don't know.
Okay.
It's like how much does a car cost? It depends on what it's made out of, what. But they make like coffee kits for the stainless steel insert. We'll talk about it. Okay. And then I can laser etch your logo on it and stuff.
That's where I wanted to go with that. That was
That's
the next
fabulous.
question. What are you drinking?
It is a
also-
classy looking mug.
I'm drinking Blue Spirits Lake Chelan rum. It's Pirates rum.
Arr.
Nice.
almost like pirates, right, Elizabeth?
Pirates.
And
One
and
day.
I've also got my little beaker
That's beautiful.
shot glass too.
That's the only reason I brought this out, everyone, is because he had a fancy new kit from ThinkGeek, and I'm like, I've only got real lab equipment I drink out of.
We don't, on Talk of the Tavern, we do not approve of drug testing.
Using is okay. Testing, that's for the
Music's
losers.
fine.
School's out. There's no tests.
That's right. So anyhow, and last but not least, our special guest for today is my very own offspring who just got out of school, and that's Aiden.
Hi there.
Pull your mic forward.
It's as forward as it's going to get.
Oh,
Pull your ear forward.
a little longer.
Is this better?
No. Go on.
My vice of choice tonight, since it's summer, we all got to hydrate once in a while. Water.
That's right. And if he drinks a lot of that, later he'll get dehydrated. What, Aiden?
Shameless plug. Go check out Dragon Slayer on YouTube. Amazing games and team commentator. Totally don't know who it is. Just plugging someone. Totally not me.
There you go.
Nicely
Andrew,
done.
would you be kind enough to do a shout out for Talking Toei, since she won't do it for herself, and for Dragon
I will.
Slayer YouTube?
I will. Also,
And you.
while you do this.
Oh yeah, I'll do that while you do this, or I'll do this while you do that. Okay, guys, just below your screen, you're going to see a share button. Click on that. Let your friends on Twitter or Facebook or wherever you like to hang out that we're here having a good time without them, and we don't want them here. So then they'll come over and harass us. That's what we got for that.
Just do it. We'll wait. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Do it now. Go
We're here
ahead.
for 3 goddamn
Yeah, do
hours.
it.
We got all goddamn day.
Touch the
We ain't going
Down
nowhere.
there.
We
Yeah, but if
haven't got anywhere to go.
If
share.
you do it right now, your friends will not miss this quality broadcast.
That's right.
Yeah.
And God says it's good to share.
Yeah.
Okay, pickles say it's good to share.
Toei,
That's
it
better.
is perfectly okay that you don't think to promote yourself. That's why we do it for you. And by the way, Andrea,
That's-
I believe his name is Draken Slayer YouTube.
Yep.
Let me do this for you guys. When you create a Twitch channel, first of all, always try to match your names across social media, even if you have to come up with something a little unique that you didn't originally want. Second of all, make it simple enough people could top it, do shout outs for you. So Talk of the Tavern might even be too long. I don't know, but it's easy to remember, I think.
It's easier. All right. So, Aiden, what is it?
Dragon Slayer YouTube.
The whole word YouTube, not YT?
Correct.
Because he's got Draken Slayer on some, Draken Slayer YT on others, and Draken Slayer YouTube on yet.
Are you playing Overwatch?
Not right now.
Is
I
it the
mean,
last
that's
game
what you
played?
have on there, right?
Yeah, the last game I played was Fortnite.
It says Overwatch. Okay, it may not be you.
No, it was
That's him.
Overwatch. It
That's
was
him.
Overwatch. Never mind.
Okay.
Because
Played
he's
with
hosting
Fortnite.
us right now. Okay, so anyhow, that's just my mini rant of, to help you out with your promoting. Hey, let's do an opening toast. What are you misting yourself with, Elizabeth?
Oh, I'm misting my plants. And then I thought, well, I'm fabulous today, so I'm going to miss myself.
What the hell was
Exactly.
that?
That was my mist.
It goes dingle, dingle?
Yeah. You
That's
should hear me when I have
wonderful.
Magic mist. I think it was my cell phone alerting me to something or other.
Daniel looks
It's
like
I've-
because
I've
he's
only
so
had it-
angelic with his glowing.
I've only had it 2 years. I've yet to figure out what all it does.
Sounds like it.
Damn, that sounded southern. I've yet to figure out what all it does.
Yeah, we totally would have thought you were from the south.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah.
Yeah, my distinct,
Daniel,
a
were you trying to
distinctive
say
South
something
Carolina
before
drawl.
I do the toast? Good. Okay, moving on. Hey, Here's to getting out of school, but never ending your education.
Cheers.
Cheers.
See, and I know Aiden is happy.
Well
because he
said.
rolls out and everything, but how many of you remember school fondly, and if you could, and you found it so much easier than in your adult life? We could do a show of hands real quick.
Yeah, on the whole.
It was easier, but I don't think you thought that at the time.
No. See,
looking back, it was a lot easier.
Yeah, I wouldn't go back to it because I enjoy life too much. So, Elizabeth, are you going to suddenly throw your hands out in the air and yell score for like 30 seconds? By the way, when you do that, it no longer says Freedom Czar, it says Freed Czar on your shirt. The OM disappears.
Just scored. Because here at the Talk of the Tavern, we like to keep up on events, including international. Croatia just scored. It was tragic and beautiful. Argentina is upset. It's fantastic. Beautiful. That's all I got to say.
Let's go with this one.
Awesome.
I'm watching a game without sound, so I'm not absolutely positive what's happening, but there's scores there. It was beautiful. They tried to kick it away from the goal, and a guy ran up right there and kicked it right in over the goal. It was fabulous.
I watch sports with sound, but without knowledge, so I still have very little clue what's going on.
It helps. I played it when I was at Cal Arts. I played in the bar league, and we were the Jedis.
Nice. Suddenly you're sexier to me. Go on.
And I played goalie because no one else would. And the first game I remember the most memorable game. It was always outside, so it was over 100 degrees. Was against a team, and their forwards were all women from the UCLA varsity soccer team.
Okay.
So imagine me standing in goal. Okay, here I go, with very little soccer experience. And they're running at me, and they're doing things with the ball, and they're passing it back and forth. And I would just watch. That's beautiful. That's amazing. And they're coming right at me. We lost 22-2.
Oh.
Hey, we made 2 goals, man.
Yeah,
and I was feeling dreadful.
22.
22-2. And I felt very awful as the goalie. And then someone had shown up who had soccer experience, but she couldn't play anymore. She was injured, but she kept the stats for us. And she said, Elizabeth, they shot on goal 62 times.
Oh, no, that's a fair average. You're okay.
So actually, you did quite well to keep an out.
Yeah.
That's actually
the rotation sucks.
65% success rate. That's pretty good.
They were amazing. What these women could do with the soccer ball while running, juggling. It was amazing.
See, and that's actually defense. If they got down to make that many damn shots, the defense was worse than the goalie by far.
We're artists. We're up all night working on our stuff, probably smoking cigarettes, drinking beer all night.
I guess being called the Jedi should have been a big clue. You're not going to be a lot of a challenger.
Yeah, we showed up on time. We should have gotten a point.
And Kennedy, hey buddy, good to see you. Thanks for jumping in.
Great.
And be safe. Aiden, do me a favor, buddy, because we are having troubles hearing you. If you want to be heard clearly, give a wave at the camera and let us actually shut the hell up for a second. That way you can actually speak, because otherwise we're just going to bull right over you the whole show, bud. Yes, Andrea.
Another thing. Me? Him?
You, Andrea. I was showing him your.
I was going to say, another thing, Aiden, if you take your ear thing out and just hold the microphone in front of your mouth.
Okay.
So
maybe that'll work.
Is this better?
I can hear him because he's on a different tone than the rest of him. It's reassuring.
Yeah, I can hear him. He's kind of tinny, but I can hear him.
Well, it's when we're all talking.
Like
we've spoken like 2 or 3 times in the past couple minutes, and we've kind of just watched right over him. So we hear him when we hush. So, and I just don't want to make him feel not included or part of the conversation because we're all excited and like fucking puppies.
Aiden, you're just going to have to communicate in interpretive dance.
That'd be awesome. Hey, Des, it is a lot of people. We were going to have 2 more, but Ed and Kevin couldn't make it. We were just going to fill the damn room.
Yellow card against Argentina. That's 2.
We go to.
Lemon party.
Oh.
Oh, you had to. Oh, don't.
No.
Was it the result of an overdramatic
We're not
fall
bringing
by one of the
that
teams?
Yes, of
We're
course.
dropping that topic.
We should do an entire show on things you should not Google.
Yes. Great idea.
That'd be a
Writing
fun
it down.
show.
That is this show.
It's pretty much
that's
how it
great.
goes week to week.
Yeah, but you keep coming back now.
Kennedy's waving at
that's
you,
right.
Elizabeth. He's passing you. He's passing by the borough of Queens. See that? And they mentioned Brady Bunch montage, and we should fill the screen and play Hollywood Squares sometime.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wasn't that on
totally.
our list?
Totally.
Hollywood Squares was not, but I can see us doing that if we can get 4 more people on. Hey, Toey, what are you doing right now? I just need to know if it creates a 3rd row when we get up to 7 people, or if it just makes the boxes smaller and across the screen.
For the Brady Bunch thing, hey guys, audio submissions, audio drama submissions. It could be a Brady Bunch style thing in a pub.
It could.
That's right. You want to tell
And
me
I
about
By
the
the
whole
the
thing?
way, I
information
do a shout
But
on
out.
then-
the screen.
We'd have to perfect that passing the bottle thing, though, through the pubes.
That's gonna
And
take
then
practice.
just reach.
Oh, that could be a challenge, especially if we've got some booze on board.
Well, what we would
Yeah.
have to do, because we have to do it via my screen setup. And Elizabeth, we want you to do your shout out in a second. I heard you, and we'll let you do that in just a moment. But we would have to get Post-it notes and put it on each side of the monitor so you know who's to that side, who's to that side.
Yeah,
who's up
there you
there,
go.
who's-
Because the Skype is different than what's on Twitch.
Travis, get your hand out of there. Jeez.
No, don't listen to him. Keep it there. Lower.
Okay, Elizabeth, shout out. Who are you shouting out? I saw markers.
I got markers today or yesterday.
From?
Double-sided for my pleasure of writing. So thank you very much. I think that was John that sent them to me.
So, Elizabeth, do you like double-sided, double-ended markers?
Yeah, but I only like one at a time.
Do you have a friend to share those with?
Pickle Man.
All
I
right.
don't share. Elizabeth doesn't share.
The
I had
innuendo
many
didn't work.
opportunities at art school to share, and I don't like sharing.
Hey, Aiden, you get that back in your ear.
No, I'm good.
Okay,
Well,
it
like
doesn't
this the
matter
whole show.
because it's not changing your sound level. So, Aiden, let me ask you.
Oh, okay.
Biggest thing you hate about
Yeah.
school, give us
Yeah.
one of the reasons that you're just glad it's summer.
People. Students specifically. Students are a-hole, 100%.
Now, are you just saying that because we're a bunch of adults that feel that way about anything under 20?
Shit, under 20.
Oh
Damn.
no, I feel the same way.
under 40.
Yeah,
But
there
I
you
can
go.
say under 20 and still be correct.
Mm.
Yeah.
Now, what about you, Elizabeth? Same question. Because Elizabeth's a teacher for anybody that doesn't know.
What was the question again?
See,
You know,
this
I've
is
got-
why...
I got three things going on at once. Why am I glad school's over?
Yeah, what's the one thing you hate about it that makes you glad that you're out for the summer?
Boy, I really hate, I know, and teaching in New York now, it's a little different. I really hate just the anger and the frustration that everyone expresses to each other, teachers, children, and no one is willing to handle their shit. And I feel like I'm one of the few people, there's a couple of us that are adding light into the world, and people are absorbed with their own ego and their own just
You know what?
polluting the stream of consciousness.
That sounds like
That's
the
what I
same
don't.
answer as Aiden, but you expressed it so much more concisely.
Yeah.
Yeah, Yeah,
It's because
That's
she's
why
the
Adrian and I
teacher.
get along.
Yeah.
We just haven't got to hang out yet.
It's like hanging out with me in training.
Exactly.
You'd be like, do this. Whereas me, I'm already doing it.
Done that.
So what about you guys? Now nobody else is a teacher or a student at the moment, correct?
No.
No, I have 2
Not anymore.
students at home though.
We always are students.
If we're doing it right. So
Yeah.
what about you guys? What do you hate about school?
Getting up at 6:30 in the morning.
Oh, God bless you.
Richard?
I have to say, if a school expected in Britain, if school expected you to get up at 6:30 in the morning, the kids would laugh at you. There's no way you could get an English child out of bed that early, unless the bed's either on fire or he's shit it.
It's got pink.
Oh, what time does school start in Britain?
I want to say 8:30, but it was probably 9 o'clock.
Sweet.
You guys must
I
be
think-
close to your schools. Some of our students spend 45 minutes to an hour on a bus before they get to school.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
So
That's true.
if they have to be there at 8, they're getting up at 6.
Yeah.
In New York, they're here at 7:30 because
Oh, no,
they
no, no.
have to have their free breakfast and then their free lunch and then their free after-school meal, which they promptly just throw away on them.
Yeah.
I
Because
want
they're
a
all
free
fat.
lunch.
Mm-hmm.
There's no
I
such
just-
thing as a free lunch.
Students get free lunch.
Yes, free breakfast, free lunch, and free supper.
Wow.
$2.15 for a breakfast here, let alone $2.85 for a lunch.
And
That's
they
cheap.
wonder why New York students are mostly obese.
Yeah.
Because they're not starving enough, little fuckers.
It's dangerous when they're fat and stupid. And I had one student. I'm sorry, the beer's kicking in. I had one student the other day, and I'm looking at her, and she's looking at me like there's just nothing in her eyes, and she's very mean. And I remember thinking, God, she's mean, vindictive, and stupid. What an awful combination, but fabulous for writing. So I came up and took notes.
Oh, Elizabeth, I could chew your ear today about writing because I'm re-editing one of the books that I wrote previously, and I'm making changes. And God, I hope
You bet.
all my stuff isn't this crappy because I have so much work to do. So many things to fix.
Well, you're an artist. You think everything you write is crap.
No, it's the rough draft. I haven't even gone through it one time yet, so it's a lot of repair and then expanding in places, etc. So it's
It takes a lot of manure to grow a garden.
to grow a bird.
A garden.
Oh,
A
garden.
garden.
Ah!
It takes a lot of horse shit to make flowers bloom. So
Kennedy
write the shit.
Kennedy's showing his age because he's asking again, is Elizabeth in the New York City public school teacher? He's asked this perhaps once before, maybe more.
Yeah, it's okay. I'm after school. And obviously Kennedy and I need to meet up and then we need to be on the show together.
Yeah, that can happen.
It can happen.
Definitely can happen.
If he has a free data plan, we can do it. Mine is limited. We'll get a third of the way into the show. Clip.
Oh, you talked about like on your phone. See, oh,
Yeah.
see that? Aiden's got earbuds, so he gets to wear cool headgear.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, they're cunningly hidden within his sombrero, are they?
Something like that. And now he's unfrozen.
I was frozen.
Oh, it's at hat
For a
time.
moment. I can't wear any with these big old headsets on my head.
Oh, I didn't even-
I'm wearing a Russian hat.
It's in the closet. And by the way, Kennedy says, Elizabeth, actually, I work for the New York City Teachers Retirement System.
Wow.
Everyone.
Hey.
Elizabeth still has a couple of years before that.
Couple.
Let's see.
Not soon enough, though, right?
No. I enjoy teaching. I just
Hate the students.
I hate Well, students are like dogs. They're going to be what they're going to be. It's up to the leadership to lay down the discipline and constantly be that example, be present, and then nail the ones that don't follow the rules. Nail them. And they're not willing to do that. No one's willing to stick their neck out, and we're just going to, I sit there and I watch everything happen, and I think, China's not worried about this bullshit. Korea, India, all these other countries that are going to surpass us because their students are going to be smarter than us.
What the fuck was that?
That was a hypersonic jet going over the house. That's what that was.
That was
Yeah,
the
that
FBI
was-
coming to get me for talking in terms.
We never have them come that low or that fast.
That was a representative of the New York
Wait,
Public
was
School
that actually a
District.
hypersonic jet?
I would assume it was some kind of military aircraft doing a top speed.
It's the sound of
It's probably the
freedom.
president. They do that.
They're like, quick, he
The
needs to
sound of
bathroom.
freedom. Yeah,
Step
awesome.
on it.
It was Tom Cruise remaking Top Gun.
Could be. He was playing volleyball while flying.
Elizabeth, let me ask you.
Sure.
Are they dogs or female dogs?
I meant dogs, and that a dog is going to bark and behave like a dog, and you have to train it to behave. You have to train a dog and the rules of the pack and what the pack behavior is. The dogs kind of regulate that, and that's the job of a principal and the leadership is to do that. And when they don't, and they're all surprised. Oh, why is there chaos? Well, you got to train them. And they're children. And my quote is, you have to marinate children in love, and you have to beat the evil out of them. That's what you got to do. That's my advice.
Right.
So treat them
We
like
need
their
to
penis. What?
We need to reinstitute paddling.
Agreed.
I'm old
That's
enough
paddling.
that yeah, you got spanked in school.
Yeah, and everybody knew about it.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because they would tell your parents, "Oh, we had to do this today."
What, Richard?
Oh, yeah. I was going to ask Elizabeth what tools are left for modern teachers to try and corral these animals. When I was at school, we had a range of punishments. We had the cane, we had the slipper, we had the paddle, we had detention.
We had 10 minutes
We
to talk
had-
with the principal.
10 minutes in the closet with the principal, yes. I usually went for the
I can only
cane.
go one way.
The slipper.
That's what the
what's
principal said to me in the closet.
What's
The
the
s-
slipper?
Well, the slipper is you know what a slipper is, a leather house shoe.
Yeah.
And you spank
Well-
them with it.
You spank somebody with it and it hurts like shit. It really is painful. And it's not something you forget.
But
Yeah.
$20 is $20.
$20 is $20. Yeah, that's right.
I actually don't know the actual technical requirements in public school teaching because I'm not that. I can embarrass children, and that generally curbs them because at that age, it's death, embarrassing them. And I'm intimidating, and I use multisyllabic words and intelligence to outwit them. I have nothing. And there was a child, and they continually put in special education children, retarded, whatever the word is, into my after-school class, which I am not trained nor paid to deal with. And when I send them to the principal's office, because they're not just disruptive, they're disruptive to everyone, they bring them back. They're not willing to, they have completely, you can see it in the teacher's eyes, they have completely, I'm not sure what the word I'm looking for. They're not
Castrated.
supporting the children, they're not supporting the teachers, they let them go. If the student fails now, it's the teacher's fault. If the students misbehave, it's the teacher's fault. And they're not giving the teacher any kind of weapon or discipline to handle these children. And then they just move them along because they have to keep moving students because the system isn't able to handle the mass loads of children if they fail them. And it's tragic. I am not allowed to correct a child's incorrect grammar because it's racist.
Because you're forcing white culture on theirs. And by the way,
And these children some of them can't even speak English.
and now I know you know our points of view, but in general, as a parent of a student who I can only motivate so much because he goes back and forth between two different places, and then school, of course, most of his waking hours are spent at that school, and we have taken away any disciplinary or rewarding type behavior that a teacher can have. 1 second, Daniel, I'll pass it right over, bud. I feel your frustration because we used to all work together towards these ends, and now we kind of don't, and it shows in Aiden's behavior where he's a smart guy. He could do the damn work, but without the fear of repercussions or the joy of repercussions, if he succeeds or skips out on it, yeah, it's hard to motivate him, and it's hard for him to motivate himself. Daniel?
Sure.
No, I just wanted to ask Aiden a question. As the only student here, at least in public school or whatever you go to, what do you fear as far as reprisal, repercussions for your actions at school, or is there none?
No,
The
not at
worst
home.
they can do to
Mhm.
the worst they can do to you in school is give you detention or in school suspension.
And is that something you
And-
fear?
No, it's literally just sitting in a quiet room for however long.
God, I would prefer that.
Like, can I just have my classroom here all the time, please?
Even as a student, I would prefer a quiet room.
So at
See,
home,
I think
I guess we shouldn't go into that.
no, but I think that's part of it is, there is no repercussions,
Mhm.
and it's
Yeah.
in-school detention and suspension.
Yeah, not anymore.
And we used to get kicked out of school if you got in trouble.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And
Really.
it's
Oh, yeah.
and I it's just it's not going to work. I mean, as adults, we have the repercussions of the law, and if we break it, there's a penalty. If you're at
Yeah.
work and you break the policies, there's a penalty. But we're raising kids that they don't have any. There's and
Yeah.
it doesn't need to be fear, but it's like actions have
Fear helps.
reactions, and because you don't want these things to happen,
Right.
But if you have nothing, they get to the workplace and try to perform the same way. It's like, hey, whatever, you can't do anything. Well, guess what? There's a surprise coming.
They
And
don't
I-
even have shame.
Right.
Yeah. Well,
And,
not for you, because what do they care what you think?
Or for themselves even. I mean, why
Yeah.
would
Aiden,
they
were you
even...
gonna say something?
Yeah. Elizabeth, I have a question for you.
Oh.
So one time I had this substitute that gave me ISS for the whole class just because I didn't do one
ISS is
non-mandatory
internal school suspension. Go ahead.
in-school suspension, yeah. Because I didn't do one non-mandatory piece of note-taking. Is that reasonable?
Okay. Well, I'm not in this situation, but unfortunately, you were probably the straw that broke that substitute's back. I don't know. I guess not. I guess that's the answer. The substitute, I've been a substitute, and you just walk in, everybody knows you don't count, and they make it as horrible for you as possible. Were you the first class of the day?
No, I was the last.
Yeah, you were the straw. Sorry, buddy.
Mm.
But it probably wasn't fair, and I know, and I somewhat know you. You probably didn't deserve it because you're a pretty neat kid. But unfortunately, in life, a lot of times you're going to be the straw, and this is what I tell children all the time: school gets you prepared for life, and life is a whole mess of what you don't want, and you're going to have to learn to find the peace in that. And I'm sorry you had to go through that, but maybe that was a lesson you needed to learn. Just like, oh, this sucks. Okay, now I have to learn to live with the shit sandwich.
Here's a basic life fact. It doesn't get easier after school. It only gets more complicated, more repercussions. But on the other hand, there is a lot more you can get your hands into and find joy and excitement in legally.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, even illegally,
But school
just don't get
prepares
caught.
you to learn and follow the rules for in life later, so you can do all those fun things and keep a job and be an adult. And
The one point I was trying to get here to, Aiden, which it's going to sound like parent lecturing at this point in time, if you can't do your damn schoolwork, you're not ready for adulthood.
Sure.
And this is your last 4 years, well, last 3 years now, to prepare yourself and get into a habit where you can succeed as an adult by doing what you need to do. Because nobody is going to motivate you except you. And if somebody is there supporting you, that is no longer motivating you. That is now hindering you and enabling you to fail. Because you have no repercussions for your goddamn actions.
Well, I tell my students that, I build up to it. I won't go that long, but I say I got a secret, and the secret is homework never ends.
Right.
You will always have homework. And the only problem is it just gets harder and harder and harder. And as an adult, if you do your homework incorrectly, you can go to jail. If you do your taxes wrong and things can work out, you can get in a lot of trouble. So to get better at being responsible is good. And you know what? A big part of life is learning to live with assholes. That is a huge part of life.
And try not to get pink eye from them.
I try to get pink eye or be affected by them,
Andrea?
That's it.
you didn't read this comment, did you?
Not out loud.
Okay. Kennedy says, I do believe that very few high schools really prepare students for the college experience, where you see your professors so much less and so much more time is on the student. That's true, because a lot of times I've seen the teachers, it's put upon the teachers, oh, you have to make sure the students do their homework and they do this and they take notes, and they shouldn't have to, especially in high school.
No, in elementary
it's
school.
It's not kindergarten.
Absolutely. Middle school, a little less. High school.
Play off it.
High school, you should just go, yeah, you failed. And there needs to be repercussions. Again, so we replicate adulthood.
Yeah.
Well,
Very true.
I help my students do homework because I'm an after-school teacher. I'm supposed to be teaching my first grade. I teach a variety of classes, but let's say Wednesday, I'm supposed to be teaching the first graders how to make masks and puppets. And you get there and you realize some of these kids' parents who pick them up either don't speak English, are either too high or too drunk to even talk to the children, or they're abusive. And I help them do their homework. Next year, it's being implemented that all these artists, are all types and intelligence, are now required to help the children do their homework because the parents couldn't possibly have time to do their children's homework. So we're becoming a babying society. Eventually, I'm very afraid of the future right now. I'm very afraid.
Aiden?
So you're saying that
Go on.
So you're saying that parents are expected to do their children's homework and not the children doing the children's homework?
No, I'm saying that the instructors, the teachers, are expected to do the homework with the children because parents cannot possibly.
When you were saying it, when you said parents do the children's homework, she just dropped the word help, Aiden. That's all.
Oh.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, that's all. He understood what you're saying. He just was wondering if parents should be doing homework, which that's actually part of the problem too. When parents are there, a lot of them do the work for the student instead of helping learn how to do the work with the student.
Because then when the kid gets back to school, they don't know the information because the parents did it all and then they fail.
I wish the parents did the homework. The parents don't even discipline or pay attention to the children. And these children don't want to go home. And I'll say things like, hey, your parents are late picking you up. You come home with me. You can do my floors. You can do my laundry. And they want to come home with me. And sometimes they cry when the parents show up. And they don't want to go home to their parents because their parents are that horrible.
See, that's what I've been doing wrong. I don't want to do the floors in my laundry.
That's right.
Okay, chop chop.
You're a self-sustaining adult. I do my own floors and laundry.
Oh, when was the last time you vacuumed a floor in there? I live here. I know.
Last year, probably.
Okay, moving on. We don't need to advertise that shit.
But anyway, the parents seem to be in the neighborhood. It's changed. The parents are very young. They're in their 20s raising children, and they're not dealing with it as adults.
Toei says, never ever do I remember my mom or dad helping me with anything at school. I either did it myself or else.
And then Kennedy said,
Good for her.
you got that, Andrea, or you want me to read it?
Yeah, Kennedy said, when I meant go to robotics team, even though it was an IT guy, I didn't write one line of code. What?
I have no idea. I think you might have sent that to the wrong person, Kennedy. Next time,
I'm very
please
confused.
send the sext to us instead of
Yeah.
when I mentor go to robotics team. When I mentor robotics team, even though I'm an IT guy, I didn't write one line of code.
Okay. Got it. Yeah. And Toei put a bunch of soccer balls there. That's funny.
So Elizabeth has showed us her pickle, and she showed us her balls. So it's a good day. It's a good
You
day.
should have seen Monday's episode.
I think we can call that a wrap if you like.
We're just going to stare at the camera for the next 3 hours. Hey, well, Skipper, I don't know if you're lurking or you're actually here, but hey, good to see you.
So, Elizabeth,
Sir.
what I think you're kind of leading up to is that the responsibility of teachers to teach is almost being put as a second requirement to teachers being expected to raise other people's kids for them.
Yeah,
it is without the power of discipline.
Without the power of discipline.
Can we go back to the triangle structure where teachers teach, parents parent, and kids do the work?
Yeah.
It's where it's equal, because right now, if you took that triangle and chopped it up, parents and teachers actually have less control and influence than the students, than the children do.
Mm-hmm.
The children have the balance of power in this because there are no repercussions. They can do what they want with very little. And even at home, we're not nearly as limited as teachers. But it's...
Well, and the thing is, the teachers can't correct a student's grammar without getting in trouble. That's crazy.
And what about I don't have an IQ of 176 in regards to the conversation we were having before, but I did well in school, and I always felt school was the rest of us had to suffer because the kids couldn't behave.
Right.
But what about creating an environment that's safe for kids to learn? I mean, isn't it hard enough with the hormones and just trying to figure life out? Isn't it hard enough to be a kid? And what about creating an environment where it's fun to learn and safe to learn, and we want to learn, and it's productive, and it's okay to make a mistake?
Because
it's just all gone out the window.
The whole system from the ground up, and nobody wants to start from scratch with concepts because it's too much damn work. But I agree with you, Elizabeth, completely. Even if we could just back it the fuck up, something.
Yeah.
Well, I think a lot of the teachers now, they have to teach just so children can regurgitate the information on these tests. They're not teaching so the kids will learn.
Yeah.
That's it.
Daniel, what were you going to say?
So I was going to say, what do you guys think about one of the things that we're having problems with is the curriculum and the things they're studying. It's all lowest common denominator.
That's what Andrew was just talking about.
We used to have advanced classes or, level 2 classes. And if you were good enough, you got into those so that you could actually learn something and not, relearn the minimalist stuff so that everybody gets to pass.
They still
what do you
have
guys
those.
think about that?
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah, but I think they're dwindling. I mean, and in some of I was looking at some of my daughters. She's in some of the baccalaureate classes and the advanced classes. Even then, it's still simplest stuff. What was that, Elizabeth?
I said, of course.
Well,
Consider the source.
It's my kid,
I understand the concept behind Nancy Reagan with No Student Left Behind. Hillary did that one, didn't she? Nancy with No Drugs. I understand the concept, but it was lousy execution because instead of assisting the ones that are below the bar to get above the bar, they just lower the goddamn bar.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're tripping on it.
They keep lowering it and lowering it and lowering it as people get dumber.
Well,
Yes.
it's kind of like
Well
when
said.
they
Good.
just lowered the, it's the same sort of thing. They just lowered the blood pressure guidelines, and now they're touting it saying, oh, Americans generally blood pressure's down and things like that. And it's like, no, you just lowered the numbers.
Right.
Yeah, or raised the numbers, as it were. But it's the same thing. It's,
Well, what purpose does school serve? I mean, when you really get to the nitty-gritty, what are we doing? And we're trying, I think we're creating, I don't know, citizenry. We're to rise them up, to help propel us better our society. And it's becoming a political ploy and an agenda. And Andrew.
Oh, I was going to say, what is school? What it should be, and this is what I explained to my kid. He's out of school now because he hated everything. I'm like, they give you the basics, the math, the writing, the reading, but you have to do these other classes a little bit at a time so you can find your niche, what you want to do when you grow up. Because he didn't understand. Yeah. So,
Daniel,
but a lot of kids don't want to try new things.
I think class or going to school, grade school through high school, I guess we're talking about, it teaches you how to figure out how to learn something. It teaches you the social interaction and cooperation of a classroom. I hope. I mean, these are the things I think it should teach you. And getting through doing work you don't want to do. It's because life is never about doing what you want to do. little pieces, you get some of it, but
Moments.
little bits. But they're just not teaching these things, or at least rewarding. We were talking about disciplining, but you need to be able to reward students when they're doing it right.
Right. And now
they've cut so much out of schools. It's horrible.
You can't give a student recognition because it takes down the other students. Everybody gets the participation ribbon.
No. See, I don't believe in that. I don't believe in everybody should get an award because the person that worked their ass off to get there should not get the same as someone who just showed up.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't want to be operated on when I'm having a heart attack. I don't my ventricles operated on the doctor who participated and won that trophy.
Yes.
The best surgeon in the class.
And by the way,
and that's what we want as a society. Some people are going to be great mechanics. Some people are going to be great plumbers. Some people are going to be great doctors. That's what we want. We want to advance. We don't want to keep slipping behind because you know what? No, once again, nobody else in the world is. Everyone's trying to promote and do good.
And Toei says, school brings up drones who will perpetuate the system that ruined school in the first place. And I think we can all nod along to that one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Score.
Good timing with such a good comment. They're killing Argentina. They're just killing them.
Elizabeth, you need to do that in your classes when somebody gets an answer right. Go! Get out your horn. Yeah.
But she wouldn't be allowed to do that nowadays because they don't let you do.
I still correct grammar. I don't care.
That is.
It's crazy.
You have to have your lines, and I will not stop correcting grammar. I won't. Sorry. I want the kids to get my order right when I go buy a burger.
Richard?
I was going to say, it seems to be that, how can I put it? The whole point of school is to teach people things. Either teach them a subject, or teach them how to do mathematics, or teach them how to, operate in a group, how to behave in a group of people, just not necessarily in a class, but generally. And teaching, when it boils, I think, of course, never having been a teacher, I could be totally wrong, but teaching involves getting somebody to the point where they can do something within certain boundaries, be it mathematical constructs, or be it the social construct of the playground, or anything else. When teachers are not allowed to show kids where those boundaries are by not being able to discipline them, not being able to put them in timeouts, not being able to correct their grammar, that's when teaching fails. Because if you're not teaching anybody the boundaries, what are you teaching them? Wow.
Is that a duck?
Yeah, I'm afraid. Yeah, that is a duck.
Oh.
Get control of yourself there.
Let me turn my duck off. There you go.
Just tell it
See,
you're
Is that
yeah.
how you got pink eye?
That's a
That's how I got
metaphor.
pink eye. You know, if you're not
Behave with
teaching
the
kids,
girl.
if you're not encouraging kids to find limits of how they can behave in a social structure, how are they going to know the limits?
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Oh, you mean they don't just know?
Well, no, of course they don't. Otherwise, if they just knew, we wouldn't need schools
Right, that was
Yeah.
sarcasm. I
or
think.
parents, for that
They
matter.
don't know, and there's consequences, and it's not for the rest of your life. You just get suspended. At 18, you can get arrested and go to jail.
Right.
I mean, younger,
Yeah.
you can get arrested and go to jail, and then all of a sudden, you can't get a bank loan, you can't rent an apartment, and all of a sudden, it's for the betterment of society that we all learn to get along at a designated, like within the parameters. This is how we get along. This is how you behave. Blah blah blah. And it's being fought tooth and nail, and it's very discouraging right now.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Hey!
Couple of
Oh,
things.
but real quick, I want to read. Can I read the comment before we go on break?
Yeah, we've got 3 minutes before break.
Oh, well, this is just so we can finish our thought.
Right, but yeah, I
Oh.
wanted to cover Toei's comment.
Toei says, Elizabeth, you should just start communicating with coworkers you don't like in another language. And when they complain, say they're disrespecting your culture.
I suggest
Joey?
take Latin.
I like the way you talk, and I did chew out all my Spanish-speaking students who were calling me, cocksucker in Spanish. I chewed them all out in German, and you should have seen their faces drop. And I used some pretty foul language, and I was impressed.
Can you repeat what you said?
In German.
In German?
Yeah, say it in German.
Yeah.
In German class.
I'm not heated. I don't have my passion going right now.
Well, let me tell you about
I
this.
just remember I called them all selfish-spoiled little pigs. And I said, you're stupid and you don't know what's coming to you. I think that's what I said in German.
So
It's fabulous.
last night while playing Star Wars, and once I finish this story, we'll go into our video break here. Andrea's character created a translator for Ugnaughts. Now, if you don't remember, Ugnaughts are little pig-faced guys who were in Empire Strikes Back, who took apart 3PO in Cloud City. But she created a translator, and she succeeded, but she rolled threat, which I told earlier before the show, I believe. Threat means something bad has happened even though you succeeded. So her translator worked, but it turned into a Samuel L. Jackson translator. So it translated, but it swore profusely through the whole thing. So I just imagine when Elizabeth says this, that, I yelled at my kids in German, and I'm like, wow, it's like
Here's
the
translator.
SML translator.
Mommy.
I did use
Mom-
boots and Schweinhunds a little bit.
Mommy, we learned a new word today.
That is so bad. Oh, God.
Okay.
You're lucky
But
there
they-
isn't a native German in that class.
They didn't know, and I said, you don't like that, do you? And when the woman, my assistant teacher, found out what they were saying to me, she grabbed them by the scruff of their collars and dragged them to the principal's office. It's fabulous.
Do that?
She won't
Yeah.
have a
So
job next year.
Oh, I did. I grab children all the time. I can't help it. I can't.
She
You got it.
she dragged him to the principal's office so they could have a sound sitting in that chair.
They could have a sad glass of water and a free puppy.
Okay, break time, guys.
Yeah, that's wrong now.
Like that.
Everybody mute yourselves. Don't forget the thumbs up. We can come back before the break is done, but here's a break. I'm about to give my kids some shit. Welcome to Talk of the Taverns. Silly Saturday, St. Patrick's Day. St. Patrick's Silly Saturday. Something like that. Today, I'm going out and I'm gonna use my Irish roots to speak in my Irish. Shh.
Say Lucky Charms.
I'm going to go out and find things that are magically delicious. Or they'll be like Irish Spring, clean as a whistle. And everything I buy is going to be green, except for maybe the food. I don't think green food is good. Even green eggs and ham. I wouldn't eat them, Sam, I am. I brought a green notebook. I've got my green mug. Even my lanyard is green and my press pass is green. So, I'm going to be going out shopping for whiskey and other Irish things.
Whiskey's not green.
It is if it comes out wrong. So here we go. We get to see what we see here today and enjoy my lovely Irish accent.
Talk the Tavern. Here you're always welcome.
So we've got the Irish whiskey section. We got Jameson as a go-to. But here we have some Quiet Man and the Pogues after the famous Irish band. And then down there we have Hellcat Maggie. So let's see what we get. And look, I'll point her out. It is green. Oh, I say nay. So we came out for dinner here on St. Patrick's Day. And since we couldn't find any Irish food, we decided to go ahead and go with Italian, which is just like Irish, except when they talk, they have big floppy hands. But look, they even have green bands here, and it's like shepherd's pie, except it's flat with no potatoes. Instead, it has the bread and stuff. And then here, this is just like corned beef and cabbage, except there's no corned beef or cabbage. Instead, it has cheese and tomatoes. And look, they have all kinds of other stuff. Their flag is just like ours, except it's reverse. So then they have very Irish cups that are red, or not. And then they have Irish condiments that are red. I don't think this is working out. Oh, look, it's an Irish pillow. It's green for the Protestant. Now it's Catholic. Now it's Protestant. Now it's Catholic. Or is it the other way around? Now it's Catholic. Now it's Protestant. Oh, they're after my Lucky Charms. Because they're magically delicious. Oh, look. It's the soap of me people. Where's my shillelagh? It's time for shenanigans. Oh, now she can have an Irish mustache too. Put 'em on. Oh, the green hills of Ireland. There's no hills. Look what it says. It says a wee bit Irish. I'm gonna put it on my penis. It's the food of me people. Clippity clappity, clippity clappity. Chocolate Lucky Charms. For when you want Lucky Charms that looks like the day after you ate them. Oh, look. It's the swag of me people. It's a little bit racist putting beer there, but I'll drink to that. Irish Spring. It's magically delicious. Oh, wait. Oh, it's clean as a whistle. I had to mortgage me pot of gold, so now I'm going to get a stew pot of silver instead. Oh, look, it's the cards of me people. It says here, Rex lost his St. Patrick's Day spirit the moment he noticed that his shamrocks had been removed. Poor Rex. And then it says have a ball on St. Paddy's Day. It's a little bit horrible. Why'd they name him Rex instead of something more Irish? And why is he not... He's a bug. It's not even an Irish setter. It's horrible. Look, Irish Spring with moisture blast. I'll blast you with some moisture, I will. I got an Irish infection, I do. Okay, and we're back. Oh, here's it. So anyhow, I want to shift the topic a little bit because we could just bitch about the school system for weeks. Andrea?
I don't know what you're switching it to, but I want to talk about some positive stuff.
Me too. So why don't you be
'Cause I have some.
positive first, I'll be positive next. And everybody, don't forget to click that share button down below. Bring your friends in. Let them know we're broadcasting. You're hanging out, and there's free beer for me.
And if you're new here, go ahead, follow Talk of the Tavern. We do stuff like this every Monday through Thursday, and it's just a fun time.
Did you say they're nude here? Because that'd be awesome.
New here.
I'm nude under my clothes.
Oh,
Okay.
Yes, Andrea. What do you got?
Well, see, now there's a lot. He changed his shirt. There's a lot that could be negative about the school, but what about the positive stuff? Have you had that one teacher, or as a teacher, that one student, just that one thing that's changed your life that you still... Yes.
I do.
Travis.
I do.
Daniel.
Yeah, definitely. You know, as cliche as it is, since I'm the wood guy, my wood shop teacher, you know, and he was very inspirational outside of woodworking. I mean, he kind of got me started, but yeah, there's some great teachers out there. But, you know, just a funny note, one of my favorite teachers in high school was the agricultural teacher. Yes, I grew up in a rural area, and we had ag class where you learned welding and farm work and all this stuff. Well, he was a wonderful teacher, and he ended up shooting his wife in the face with a shotgun, and it ended up his wife was actually his sister. So, you know, judge a book by its cover, I guess, right?
And this was the agricultural teacher or the wood shop teacher?
No, this was the ag teacher who I really liked him.
did he kill her?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Well, that
Shot her in
changed your life,
Alabama?
huh?
Not really. It
Did
didn't
he know it
affect
was
me.
his sister?
Say it again, Aiden.
Oh no.
Were you in Alabama?
No. In Washington.
That was sarcasm also. He's my son.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Yeah.
No, he ended up being a murderer and going to prison for life sentence. And
Holy
then they found out that his sister and him were living together as husband and wife, telling everybody they were husband and wife.
That's hot, unless you have my sister.
God.
I don't know. I think she probably looked a little worse after he shot her with a shotgun. But anyway, no, I think there's a lot of positive stuff in school. And, you know, you just have to be able to grab onto the good things that happen in your day and throw away the crap. It's not worth your time. You know, if somebody says, oh, you're a bully, or what was he showing us? Aiden, what were you showing us? Oh, I'm sorry, man.
Magic.
I'm sorry.
No, I grabbed the good things in life.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Well, like this got me thinking, because I had a teacher, and I've always talked about this teacher in high school. He was fun. He was really big into wrestling. So in class, the next week, that was our class. He would show what was played the night before, the wrestling, WWF then. Now it's WWE. Plus, he was Greek, so whenever the holidays or festivals came along, he would make Greek food and dress in Greek clothing and do dances, and he was fun. And I look at that because he made learning fun. So after his class, I was in AP history classes.
Mm-hmm.
But it made me want to learn other cultures and try other food, and that's kind of why I got into belly dance and other dances, folk dancing, because that started it. So teachers like that are kind of they're great, but you don't see them as much anymore, I think. Yes.
My favorite teacher was a biology honors, Anthony Arrico. Short Italian guy, very animated, very excited about what he was teaching. He loved what he was doing, and possibly the subject, but possibly just teaching. And that was the one teacher that sticks in my head. And what I have seen is generally your cream rises. So your best teachers are teaching your honor courses, your AP courses, etc. They're the most passionate, the most interested. and I could be wrong. This could just be my experience. But so I guess in that aspect, it's a good thing, because if the best students go to the honors and the AP classes, so should the most engaging, interesting, passionate teachers. Well, passionate about the topic, not necessarily about their sister. And Toei says, my most encouraging teacher was a gym teacher / coach. Interesting. He just liked to watch you climb the rope, if you know what I mean. We didn't climb ropes when I was in middle school, high school, whatever.
Well,
We used them on the cows.
Were you in
climb
Alabama?
cows.
No.
Hey, that's my joke. You can't steal my joke.
See,
Wrong, I just did.
it wasn't just high school. I had a great teacher in, I guess, the lower grades. And she was so, I don't even know how to describe it. She was very passionate about teaching, of course, but the way she taught made you want to learn. And it was, I just remember every week going into class, and on the chalkboard there was a new French word. So every week we would have a new French word. And then I ended up taking 4 years of French in high school.
Did she write on the French word for cocksucker?
No, but she put Jordan.
That's just German.
Evian. You know. Elizabeth, the question is, we wanted to get away from just bashing the school system, because we could do that for a while without a problem. So we wanted to focus on more positive things. And Andrea asked if anybody had a favorite person from their school years, whether that's a teacher, another student, or you as a teacher having a favorite student that you'd like to interact with, and that sort of thing. So if you want to jump in, now you're caught up.
Sure. All right. My favorite teacher, Richard, this is for you. It was in Upper Hayford in England. And his name was Mr. Pentecost. And I think I was second grade. And he had a way of teaching history that engaged you. And the way he asked questions. And I had this distinct memory of him talking about, he was teaching us history of England and how the progression of the architecture of castles, and how initially they were built out of wood. And he'd show the fortress, and then he would ask us, why would they change from wood? You know, if it worked against grain, what would happen? You know, second graders, you know, think about it. And eventually it came around to fire. And
Fire.
Stone. And he was just loving and patient, and we just were all calm. We were kids, but he would calm us and engage our minds and souls. And I'll never forget him. He was just a wonderful man. Second grade. Of course, we were learning about castles. How could you not be engaged?
How could you not?
True. Elizabeth, I have a question as a teacher. I'm hoping every now and then you run across a student who has that spark of learning, who wants to be there, who wants to listen to what you say. How do you, as a teacher, encourage that?
Generally, nowadays, privately. You have to do it privately. And it's sad but true. And a lot of times I encourage them through my own work, and then I give them special access to it. That's pretty much it. And you know it. And I have pictures, and I can't, I don't want to share. I'm still employed. One little guy, there's two guys right now on my head. Muhammad, young little black guy, just smart, bouncing between kind of the bad kids, but he's a Boy Scout. He really wants to do well, and he lives in a crappy Bronx neighborhood, one of the roughest schools around. Good heart, always there to help, always there to clean up. And we just talk privately when he's sitting there. He just always seems to gravitate toward me and kind of hang out, not get wrapped up in the drama. And the other little boy is Keanu. He's very young. He has 8 siblings, dirt poor, and he's probably one of the smartest kids I've ever met. Smart kid, first grader. And he's going to make an amazing drug cartel one day.
It's good to have skills.
And when you're
Just
done,
inspire them.
Elizabeth, I want to
them.
go
That's
back
all you-
and give Richard and Aiden a chance to talk about their favorite person from their school years.
This is the opportunity.
Especially Aiden, because we kind of need to know the next generation is being inspired or has something out of this whole fucking deal.
So we're yielding the floor to Aiden.
Well, let's start with Richard and then go to Aiden, because Aiden may probably have the longest and the most to say on this. Richard, go ahead.
Oh, by far and away my fondest memories of high school. There were 3 teachers that come to mind. There were the 2 teachers that taught me English language and English literature. Names are John Barrett, Sally Hitchmo. Mr. Barrett especially kind of took me under his wing. I had a bit of a flair for creative writing, and he really encouraged it. And I'd got far enough ahead in it by the end of my 4th year that him and Sally Hitchmo took me aside and said, look, why don't you just take the school exam for it a year early, get it out of the way, then you can concentrate on something else. And I'll never forget the boost in confidence that gave me. The other thing was Sally Hitchmo was as hot as shit too.
Nice.
I'm sure
you got pink eye.
She'd laugh. Probably is. I'm sure she'd laugh if she heard that now, but no, I'll never get those 2. The other guy was a mathematics teacher called Philip Chan.
You had a lot of them. Good deal.
He was a character. He was from China, and he was in the Chinese Olympic gymnastics team for 1972. Wow. And physically, he was the strongest person I think I've ever seen. He had this thing where he used to get annoyed with kids who'd play up in class. So he'd have them come and stand against the wall, and he'd pick them up by the arms like that and just hold them for like 2 minutes and just stare at them.
Impressive.
The ground. Yeah, he was as strong as an ox, but very, very clever guy. He gave up teaching. He was a sports teacher as well. He had to give that up because he started to have back problems. He's a motivational speaker, which comes as no surprise to me. He's a motivational speaker, and he writes, what does he call them? The 10-minute Math Genius books. It's kind of a plug. He didn't ask me to do it, but that's what he does now. He must be in his 60s, early 70s. But yeah, there are 3 people right there who absolutely got me through high school.
And what about you, Aiden?
Nowadays, not a lot of teachers have a personality. So I like the teachers that do have personality.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you met Mr. Johnson.
Yes, he did have a lot of personality. Geeky stuff all around his room, like Doctor Who pictures, Stargate, Star Wars, and they all. And he teaches geography, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Which
is, let's say, my least favorite class, high school, so far, not in geography.
So is it because I have found topics that I'm not interested in, but with a passionate and exciting teacher, suddenly they make it pretty decent. So is he just a great guy, but not an engaging teacher, or what?
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
So
he's like an amazing person,
but not as a teacher.
He's not a teacher. Yeah.
I get it.
But like I said, nowadays no one has personality if they're a teacher. So if you can find a teacher that has a personality, like they're geeky and funny and crack jokes in class,
now, do you know why they don't have personality?
They're probably not allowed to.
Well, I want to see if Aiden has an answer, then I want to pass it to Elizabeth.
They're not allowed to because then you're insulting their culture if you have personality.
You know what? Somebody's already answered that. No, it's but you don't realize it. They have personality, at least some of them, as any human being does. But yeah, they can't display it because that then displays opinion. Because what you're calling personality is interest and passions and whatnot. But if you do that now, you risk Elizabeth, why don't you just take over and go where you like with that?
It's true. We turn into a society of litigation to where you're going to be held accountable for anything. People aren't forgiving. They
Was your
aren't
kid?
humankind anymore. They're human mean. They're human vengeful. And to be free and to be accepting is dangerous, because then you have to give up control, that there may be ideas that counter your own. And there's a very strange current going on right now. If you disagree with even the idea, our definition of diversity, this key phrase, you're evil, you're horrible, you're awful. And I disagree. I think school should be the haven to where any idea can mash up. And we learn how to disagree. We learn how to debate. And just like this show, I'm always going to brag about this show, we can have contrasting opinions and listen to each other and engage and even laugh and enjoy.
Yeah.
And that's the epitome of what I look forward to school. To answer Dan's question, I forgot to say my favorite students and the ones that have that spark and that, or is what Aiden was saying, that character, that personality, they're in my films. They're on IMDb. They've been interns. They've helped me create my art, and they've helped write in the world. So there you go.
If I may, Talking Toey says, I actually recorded a dialogue for a comedy piece on The Fakest about a teacher with, quote, you okay there, Elizabeth? Recorded a comedy piece for The Fakest about a teacher with, quote, too much personality.
Too
And
much
personality? Yeah, too much, like, Elizabeth dropping the beer can because that's too much personality.
That wasn't a beer can, that was my watering can.
Is that what you're going to go with? Good idea. But Elizabeth, you know exactly how that is, because you are chock full of personality and you have to tone it back at school.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I do. I don't. I probably should be fired now and then.
I'm going to totally snatch this away because we're spiraling downward again. Let's bring it back up. Let's talk about some of our favorite stuff about summer. Just when you hear it's going to be hot, humid, blazing overhead, what do you go, yeah, this is what I'm doing?
Andrea?
Oh, me?
You're doing Andrea?
Take off that cannoli.
Cannoli.
I got a visitor.
We see that.
Well, I haven't done it much, but what I like about summer is being able to go on picnics. Go find a shade tree, have a picnic, play some card games, take a nap. That's what I like.
Gentlemen?
Yeah. I like anything to do with boats and the beach. I love to get out on the water when it's hot.
Because we do a lot of trips and camping and fishing, and I do stuff with the scouts. But I make sure one of the things I do is I'll take a trip with my son, just he and I, and my daughter, just she and I. Will do, a 3-day trip somewhere. And, we'll do stuff as a whole family and things like that. But I love any chance to get out, do something, go to festivals, go to gatherings. It's a blast.
Hey, Daniel, real quick, plug your podcast thing you're doing, the podcast festival you're doing.
Oh, it's Podcasting in the Park. It's on Facebook. There's a website, www. It's in Portland, Oregon. So it's a gathering of Northwest content providers. It's a casual thing, but we're doing it at an amusement park. So we're getting there. We're going to set up. The traffic will just walk by, and we're going to share. We're going to have things like product demonstrations. We have a stage, so we'll have live shows up there. If you're in the area, come see me. It'll be fun.
One more time.
Podcastinginthepark.com.
Very good. Okay. Now, before we go to Aiden to talk about his favorite things, or Elizabeth, a couple comments. Kennedy says fishing is one of his favorite summer activities. Barbecue, movies on the Intrepid. Now, I'm guessing the Intrepid is a boat, but I could be wrong. And Wynn says being able to be outside late at night without it being cold. So,
Always good.
Aiden, Elizabeth, who
Yeah.
wants to go next? How about you, Aiden, and then we'll roll back to Elizabeth.
What I like doing in the summer is getting away from the stress of school.
Okay, how do you
It's
do
always
that
a great
then?
thing to do. Hang out with friends, play video games, normal teenagery stuff.
Very good. Elizabeth?
Water. Just get me in water.
Yeah.
Hey, Elizabeth.
Just add water. Cheers.
Make her wet. She's a happy woman.
Why am I envisioning that whole, what is it, where the water hits the dancer? Yeah.
Flash dance.
Flash dance, yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Because that's what she does after the show.
That's a whole other channel, actually. Yeah.
What a feeling.
So what I
Yeah,
heard
yeah.
for the most part from 4 out of 5 of you is go outside. And matter of fact, the 2 people that commented in chat, go outside. The only one that didn't really, and it could be go outside with hang out with friends, or it could be hiding in the house with the air conditioning and video games. So I'm just going to go with you guys, you 4. So going outside seems a very popular option.
I love cooking outside. You know, whether it's camping or just in the backyard. I love that, cooking and eating outside with friends. And it just, it seems to take longer. It's more fulfilling, and there's laughter, and then there's a fire, and it's night. I love that. You're getting tore up by bugs. It's great.
You can cook, I'll eat. It's all good.
No problem.
Yeah, it's awesome. One of my favorite things about summer is we get to do my Dungeons and Dragons camp out.
Tell us about that.
Oh, well, it started with when I was in California with Elizabeth, and we would go camping and play D&D out in the woods. It's awesome fun. And I just continue doing that every single year with whatever group that I've been with, and it's coming up. It'll be a blast.
So, camping in the woods, does that make it hard to see the dice?
Yeah, it does.
I didn't mean to awkwardly pause right then.
No. To see the dice? No, because they have these. Edison invented this thing called light. It's pretty cool. But yeah, no, you just light it up. You have lights.
He has light up dice.
So
I do.
That's actually what I'm curious about. Are you talking about light up dice? You talked about holding a flashlight over it, or do you set lights all around your damn campsite?
Oh no, you have
Yes,
you have lanterns and stuff like that. I mean, everybody's playing at a table. We're not LARPing and running through the woods. That's a whole other thing.
I'm imagining sitting in my comfy chair with a character sheet and my dice, and it's.
Well, we have those lanterns up. We've got digital lights. Yeah, we set up a pretty luxurious camp.
Now, I'm not
Oh, that
knocking
sounds like fun.
how you just said you did it, but I myself don't want a bunch of digital lights, etc. when I'm camping. I would rather have to use a flashlight to see dice, or just play some kind of game where you can have minimal dice rolling, so you don't have to keep on flipping. Have your campfire, the stars, the moon, and just And again, not knocking the other way.
No, I got it. No, because we've done that in the past, to where the dungeon master had a little bit of light because. Why is it every time I talk there's music in the background? That's awesome.
Dungeon
That's so
Master.
funny.
I have
I'm trying to figure out what it is and how to stop it.
I have theme music. That's awesome. No, but where we've played, where it's majority is role playing, the dungeon master has to have some light to look up stats and figures. But yeah.
Well, when we played, we just had candles. And a flashlight or two, and the stars, and I think
But that's
maybe
when
some cute
flashlights
remaining
were as
post-
big as a room, and you had to hand crank them all day long.
Yeah. Oh, the gnomes do that. Oh.
The hell is a cow tie in there?
Pardon me.
Where's the beef?
Excuse me.
Where's the beef?
Hamburger.
Oh, it's very rare.
Mini patty. Opera Junior.
With bacon depending on the chick.
Another good thing in the summer is the drive-in.
Oh yeah, driving.
Yeah.
Good.
It's very true.
But do you have a drive-in near you? How far is it from you?
Hour and
About
15
an hour.
minutes.
But it's worth it.
It is. Yeah, even when the movie ends at 1:30 in the morning, because you did a double feature and they're modern movies that are over 2 hours each, you get home at 3 in the morning, but you're like, no, I'm okay with that.
It's worth it.
It's good times, man. It's good times.
Yeah.
I like sitting on the roof or watching the stars and
Shoving people off. It started with sitting on the roof, just,
this is not the sexual innuendo you're looking for.
What? Wait, how would shoving somebody off a roof be a sexual innuendo? I like sitting on the roof.
Oh,
you would
Shoving
too.
people off.
Sexually innuendo and shoving people off a roof.
I didn't say
Elizabeth
jerking
did.
people off.
Shoving off, yeah. It's when you do it sideways.
Oh Lord. God.
And maybe.
He leans closer to the screen so we can hear it better.
That's how I hear it
No,
better.
no. So you can read the sign.
Oh, is that what it is?
Well,
That's the reason.
my biggest thing is that I do like traveling in the summer. I get time off from work, and I really love it's when I get to go see friends and family. It's really beautiful. And beer tastes so good. I can give up beer in the winter, no problem, but summer, it's too hard.
I do find I enjoy certain things more in the summer, and it might not be a favorite thing of the summer, but I normally will never drink a light beer. But Bud Light with lime in the summer,
Ugh. Sorry.
it's
Ugh.
one of those things. It
Oh,
is
dear.
light and crisp, and I don't tend to drink more than one, but it's almost like drinking a lemonade type situation, where it's light and crisp.
I find that summer, there's that moment in spring where things are just opening on the trees,
Right.
just little peaks of green, and suddenly there's this burst of explosion of green flowers, and I do love that about summer, when suddenly the trees are no longer these little wooden skeletons. Things are full and gorgeous, and it changes your point of view.
Well, it's like a time to reset
Yeah.
and kind of center yourself. That's why I go up in the woods
See it
and
the other
camp
way
and
around
stuff
for
like
me.
that.
Winter is my reset time. Summer is my busy time, because between conventions and writing and publishing and whatnot, summer is my finish the project time, whereas winter is the deep into the project time. By the way, Toei says my summer soda pop beer is Corona with lime, which, yeah, it's that kind of thing. And that's what else I was saying. Some other things I enjoy more in the summer and almost don't bother in the winter. I will smoke a cigar in the summer and enjoy it more than I enjoy a pipe. Whereas in the winter, a pipe just feels better. It's just, you got the fireplace or the warm heater, the blanket over you in this heavier sweater. Something else I love being so hot and sweaty, you're wearing shorts and a tank top and nothing more. And the reason I enjoy that is because in the winter, when I'm freezing my little balls
No
off,
pants?
no pants. It's nice to remember back to the other season where most people were miserable, but you enjoyed it because you knew you were going to be freezing in 6 months. And then, you know what, Zazzle? You're not helping. God damn it.
So I'm imagining summertime with Travis in a halter top,
Oh, yeah.
Much
I'm,
cooler.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like this. I'm just like,
And the
hey,
short shorts?
it's
Yeah.
so nice.
Oh, that's a fearful sight to behold, Travis.
You're welcome.
There are some things you just can't unsee.
But in the winter, I also love the cold.
My
Or the
milkshake brings all the boys to the yard, and they're like, it's better than yours. Damn right, it's better than yours. I could teach you, but I'd have to charge.
But yeah, and the same thing in the winter. I enjoy needing the long sleeve thermal shirt and the sweatpants while in my own house, covering with a blanket, because I remember how I was just wishing it was cooler in the summer.
All right, favorite summer songs.
Summertime by DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince. That is just
Who
a
let the
go-
dogs
Smith,
out?
Yeah.
Who let the dogs out?
Who?
Oh.
Summertime, Janis Joplin.
There you go. Some of my best memories of summer are heavy outside drinking. Let's put it like that. English people, we don't see an awful lot of summer in Britain, and when we get it, we make the most of it.
The one time we went.
Oh yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Do it, girl.
What? Just the one time we went there, it was hot.
over 90.
The first time they had summer in like 500 years.
Yeah, especially for you.
Yeah, every time Andrea goes, it's hot.
Yeah. Aiden. Oh.
Yeah, it's summer.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
But yeah, a British pub, especially a country pub in the summertime, is just surrounded by drunk people, and they're getting more and more drunk. We start drinking about 4 o'clock when it's AM. Yeah, we start drinking as soon as we can get away with it. So by 9, 10, 11 o'clock at night, it's still light, and the garden is absolutely full of people who are so drunk they can barely make it to the bar for the other drink.
Oh, that's funny.
It's a traditional pastoral scene in Britain.
Yep.
Yeah, summertime out.
Is that why
outdoor
Kevin's not on
drinking.
today?
Yeah.
Probably.
Aiden, what about you? Favorite summertime
Got another favorite summertime what?
songs?
Song.
Song. Summertime by Fresh Prince.
It's probably because I've played it so much, because to me, it's just the memories Fresh Prince goes through on that. It does trigger it, the things that you do in your late teens and summertime, which is where a lot of our memories throw back to. It's puberty time. Between 12 and 20 is the mass of a lot of people's
Hormones.
I guess the hormones trigger memory, huh? Do you
Yeah.
remember the taste?
Wait,
or
mine
smell?
is mine is pontoon.
Who?
Pontoon. On the pontoon. Making waves and catching rays up on the roof. You know what a pontoon is?
I do know what a pontoon is. I've never heard the song.
Little Big Town. Yeah, look it up. Little Big Town.
And that's
Acting like
pontoon,
you
not
don't want
poontang.
Driving in slow motion. I'm out here in the open. Motorboating, yeah.
Motorboat. Now you're
On
talking.
the pontoon.
Motorboat
It's a
is
party
different.
barge. It's a barge that you can fit. My friend's is all leather. It's amazing. It's you can fit, let's say, 12 people. You go around. Some are double decker, have even slides that go into the water, and it's very slow, and you just drink and jump in the water.
I think we should rent a pontoon boat and play D&D for a week.
I'll be on shore.
Oh, don't be a wimp. No, you wouldn't.
Phobia.
There's shade. You're
We'll
on
tie
the
it.
water, and there's shade. It's amazing.
It's a houseboat, and you float
Yeah.
around the lake. Yeah,
Okay, then I'll need like all the floaties.
yeah, we can do that.
Yeah, we can do that.
But we're only
Yeah.
putting them on the top half of your body because we're not assholes.
Andrea, I'm a certified lifeguard and CPR. You're good.
So you want to give me mouth to mouth, huh?
Well, that's where you want to go. I don't want to, but I will. And I'm licensed. So I'm insured.
Hashtags girlfriend.
$20 is $20.
They want me to give kids CPR. Like,
Oh, I've got to
Sorry,
tell you
little-
this story. I've got to tell you this story.
One second.
CPR.
Toby
Alright.
says, we annoyed our friends last time we were on a pontoon with them because we kept singing Jimmy Buffett songs. Okay.
yeah.
CPR story.
CPR. So, my job entails me having to recertify in CPR from time to time. Well, if you do it as a healthcare provider, one of the things they teach you is how to really check if somebody's deeply unconscious or dead. And it used to be that they'd teach you how to do the sternal rub. You get your knuckles and you just rub it on somebody's chest bone like that. Well, I swear to God, we're on this course, and the woman says, we don't do the sternal rub anymore. You twist the nipples. I swear to God that the replacement for the sternal rub is the Texas titty twister.
Do you get to yell that like we used to do in middle school when we do it? Titty twister!
Oh, it doesn't work if you don't.
I think I'm gonna change. I think I'm gonna change my profession.
Yeah,
That sounds awesome.
I mean, I didn't call it the Texas titty twister, but that was what it was. I was like,
Now, Aiden.
who wants to be first to practice this fucking thing?
Aiden.
It's okay,
It's not
ma'am.
Texas.
It's okay. It's okay, ma'am. I'm just trying to help.
I'm just trying to tune you in.
I'm just trying to help.
Aiden.
Are you alive?
Aiden.
I ate it.
You're CPR certified, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So how do you check? Because I believe you're even teaching classes or assisting, correct?
Yeah, I'm helping my mom teach
Okay.
classes.
Pull your mic forward because it's on the
Na-
back of your shoulder.
Nowadays, you tap their shoulders, like, hey, are you okay? No response, you start CPR. If they say, ow, stop. Yeah.
That's how I learned.
So there's no sternum rub, there's no nipple pinching, there's no handcuffs,
No.
any of that involved.
No.
No tongue in the
putting your
mouth.
knuckles up
Nothing.
and-
No tongue in the mouth.
No.
This isn't elementary
No
school.
twisting titties, nothing like that. You just, hey, are you okay? Okay, let's go.
You're on the wrong course, man. You are on the wrong course.
You need the British one.
The British one.
Joey
This one,
says, slap
this
him
one was
on-
actually in Richmond, Virginia. But we used to do the
He's in
slap on the
records for
shoulders, and
Virginia,
they said, well, don't do that because you might move the head and they might have a neck injury. But I shit you not. She says you need to get the nipples, and it hurts like hell, and you twist them really hard.
Who said that? Was it like your boss?
No, it was the instructor.
I thought you were the
I swear to God, yep.
Oh,
No,
so
I'm not the
did
instructor.
you like lean into you and leer when she said this?
Man, I think
Do you have a
I'm.
by the
pamphlet?
nipples. Was it Trump in drag?
Is there a
I'm gonna-
pamphlet with this?
I swear to
think I
God,
remember
Technique?
I asked her
No.
twice if she was joking. I asked the woman twice if she was joking. She said, no, we don't do the sternal rub anymore, just in case there's any injury to the ribs or sternum. But we need something that's painful enough to wake you up. And
I
that
think
was
I'm
it.
gonna randomly pass out now.
I'm kind of getting turned on.
Oh, my God.
And that's
Is
how
there
you.
a pamphlet that I can get
More, I'll,
to show
I'll
proper
show-
technique?
I'll see if I can find one.
Please.
Oh, yes, please, because I need one too.
Oh, yeah.
If you can't find one, I'll make one up for you.
Practice on Travis.
Mom, this is how they do it in Britain.
No,
Yeah.
Richmond. He learned
I-
at Richmond.
I'd practice on Travis. $20 is $20.
I don't know which one of us is paying, but we're both leaving happy. By the way, American
Boy.
Red Cross still says you tap them on the shoulder and ask them if they're okay.
Water.
Let's see what the Mayo Clinic says. Mayo Clinic
about the-
says... What about the what?
Mustard clinic.
Mustard Clinic? I will check on that, as well as the Betty Ford Clinic. I'll see what they say, too.
This is the one for health.
Offer 'em a drink.
Might be slightly different.
Mayo Clinic says tap or shake their shoulder and ask loudly, "Are you okay?" I don't know. What are you playing over there?
Her song.
Don't make her stream mute.
Oh, that one. You haven't heard that one?
Mm-mm.
I sent you the link to it.
Okay. Yeah, it looks like everybody's going with the shoulder tap. Are you okay?
I like the titty twister because that is going to wake you up.
Oh, wait a minute. I found one from InsideFirstAid.com. It says first thing to do is go over and slap them on the shoulders, trying to wait. Okay, be forceful. I was thinking face. I was like, all right, little face slapping going on there.
No, it's okay. I'm helping. I'm helping.
I'm certified.
I was sitting up and talking when you walked over.
It's all right. Hold still. I'm a doctor.
I know what I'm doing.
Hold, doctor. I'm still.
Did you say hold still? I'm adopted.
Yeah.
I'm starting to wish I had been.
I'm adopted. Let's go.
I need a pamphlet. This is just great.
I shall see what I can find.
And then we could put that other graphic that you found, Andrea, on it too. If the titty twister thing fails, try sitting in their face.
How you get pregnant? How you have babies?
Put on my face and tell me that you love me.
Okay, I am now Googling
lemon party.
How to check before CPR pinching nipples. Okay,
dirty.
You know what, Richard?
This is how you have babies.
Where she got trained, ask for documentation of that shit, because
I'll see what I can do.
Yeah, nobody is saying pinch the nipples. They're talking about between the nipples for the breastbone, blah blah blah. But
you're not finding it on any reputable sites, huh?
You know what? Let me just type the word naked in here, and I bet you I get a total different set of results.
Richard,
yes, sir.
Richard, did your instructor have you practice on her? Because I'm thinking there was ulterior motive here, not just certifying you in CPR. You know.
Was your class in a van?
Oh my goodness.
Down by the river. Yeah.
Was everyone clothed?
For the most part, yeah.
Did they look like dirty hippies? And what was the address?
They always look like that.
Speaking of dirty hippie,
put the lotion.
Wearing a mask during the encounter.
Did they ask you to put the lotion in the basket?
Did you have to pay?
Did they give you the hose?
I did get the hose twice.
Actually, I'm sure they did ask you to pay afterwards. You sure you weren't just with a hooker? It's a lot of the same emotions. So anyhow, Kennedy says, I appreciate this. I'm stuck in New York City traffic. Who posted something there that I have to go look at now because it flashes on the damn side of my screen? Can I show this on Twitch, Elizabeth?
It's a picture I took on the bus.
Okay.
Oh, sorry.
No!
Oh, goodness.
Don't do it.
Hold on. I'm going to just bring this right over here. Give me a second.
Tattoos are good, though.
I met her because she couldn't sit in the seat because it wet. It wet. And my shorts wet. I can't sit. It's wet. And she's just delightful.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there you go. I put it up for the viewers so they can enjoy the view also.
It wet. It wet.
It wet.
I mean, the tattoos are neat.
That's my new
print.
album name. It wet.
There we go.
You're not right.
You see, I should do this real quick. For those of you viewers out there, let me go ahead and do this for you. That there is what we were discussing before the show.
Oh, yeah.
And we also had this right here that I could put up for you. You know what? Let me make that slightly smaller so I can raise it.
But I'll send you a nice one for the subway.
There we go. For you viewers, you can see what we were doing before
Oh, Lord.
the show.
And you guys aren't on Twitch.
Oh.
It's the stuff in the Skype chat.
And that's the city that never sleeps.
I saw that one.
Everyone
They're
sleeps
sleeping
on
as
the-
a family.
They are, and I think he might have been the older brother, or you don't know. And everyone sleeps on the subway. We're all exhausted all the time. So
How
I thought
do
it
you
was the
not miss your
cutest thing.
stop?
Oh, sometimes people fall asleep. It's not often, but they'll have a sign, or they'll say where they need to get off. But you kind of memorize. You kind of know. You just wake up at the right time. Actually, Andrea, I'm sending you up.
Oh,
So
Sending you a letter, and I got so intrigued, I missed my stop.
Oh,
Sorry, Dan.
so people
Go ahead,
so
Dan.
people sit on the subway with signs on how to get off, or
Some-
how they need to get off.
Rub
I haven't
here,
seen many
twist
of those,
nipples.
but occasionally.
check if I'm alive.
what are they? Are they drunk people or tired people or tired drunk
Most
people or
just
who
sleep
are they?
and they get up in time.
Right.
I used to do
exhausted.
that. When I used to commute on a regular basis using buses or trains, I would doze off and wake up seconds before my stop.
Our train system is so bad now. Welcome to socialism. I leave for work 2 hours before I need to get there.
Now,
Wow.
by the way,
And some
Kennedy
days I
just
make it just in
posted,
time. Sometimes I make it a little early. So we'll see.
Kennedy just posted 5 miles, ETA 45 minutes.
Mm.
Oh.
Kennedy fucking
That's
walk.
and that's a good time. That's a good time.
He's not going to leave his car.
I don't think it's his car, otherwise he wouldn't be typing to us. He's probably
Oh,
carpooling.
he's in a car with someone,
You
probably.
sure it's car?
Yeah, that rate is probably not moving anyway, is he?
That sounds like
Is he on
train.
a train or?
Sounds like
I
train.
know sometimes he carpools. I don't know.
I don't know.
I ride the train, and there's times that it would be faster to walk, but you
One second.
can't river water. So
Okay, Daniel.
Dan,
No, I just had a question. But we can take care of this later. But I was just wondering what we're talking about summertime and what we like to do. What's something you're really looking forward to that you're going to be doing this summer?
Publishing books. Playing D&D.
Well, I wanted
Awesome.
to. I want to go hiking at the campground and check out the campsites that have no electricity. We're supposed to do that tomorrow, but it's supposed to be like a really bad storm.
Yeah, it's
So
like
we'll see.
86 degrees and 90% chance of thunderstorms.
Nice.
So we're
So
like,
you will have electricity.
One way or the other, do it.
Aiden, what do you got to go on this summer?
I'm
Mike.
planning on spending time with these two amazing people.
good
Well,
answer.
Pull your mic.
And
Okay.
oh right.
Now go on.
And probably pulling my YouTube channel back on track and not doing what Elizabeth is demonstrating right.
You wait till
Don't knock
11th
it.
grade.
Don't knock
No.
it till you try it, man.
Good.
No.
And don't try it till you're knocking.
Don't try it
Don't
on your
try it till you
knockers.
twist it.
Don't try it on your knockers. What?
Yeah, try it on someone else's.
Elizabeth, do you have a trip or anything planned this year?
I'm just trying to get a job. The big
Yeah.
one, I'm hoping to. I'd really like to get to Virginia in the next few weeks to check on family and. Okay, sure, come on out. I don't. When I get back, I don't have a car. It's very depressing. No, that's it. I just want to, get back to Virginia. In the middle of July would be fabulous. And actually, there's a big 4th of July party, Smith's party, pool, pig picking, fabulous. So We'll see.
You should have watched last night's stream of Star Wars because of the Ugnaughts. There were so many pig puns.
Mm-hmm.
Eyelashes. You know what? Nobody does it like the Polish. When they have a wedding.
That is so true.
It's true. It's true. 3
'Cause
days, 3 nights of partying. 3
They
days,
cross
3 nights.
they cross their hands when they do CPR, right?
A table, one table longer than you can reach, is nothing but shot glasses. Nothing but shot glasses.
Hey, what do you know? I'm suddenly Polish.
Yes. That's so, yeah. Horrible. I don't know. I just like
no,
to
Toey, we're not
your
we're not
grandma.
Polish haters. We're celebrating the Polish because of how they celebrate.
Elizabeth
Yeah.
is Polish, in case you haven't seen her last name, which she still hasn't helped me pronounce, and I honestly want to be able to pronounce the damn thing. But it's like,
You just
yeah, go ahead.
you just go Elizabeth. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just glad it resembles Pickle Lady, because then I can say Pickle Lady and people still recognize it when it's your actual last name.
So how do you pronounce it, Elizabeth?
easily. It's Pashetsny.
Pashetsny.
There you go.
Is that it?
Europeans don't have a problem, yeah.
Wow.
Americans make a big fucking deal of it.
It's not hard to say. I just get confused with spelling it.
Yeah. Don't look at it. Don't look at it. Think
Yeah.
of like a pa and like a Shetz.
A
Shetzlin.
Like- Pa shits. What?
In the
Yeah, I
outhouse.
never heard that. Never heard that one before, right?
I wear a straw hat. I wear like a little straw cowboy hat now when I walk around New York, and the kids freak out because I'm a cowboy girl. You know, I'm the cowboy now. And they ask me, "Oh, you cowboy now?" Got it. And I say, "What part of me says I love the sun?" Because they're all dark. And then I tell them I'm allergic to the sun, and they freak out. And I say, I'm from the lands where the winter wolf eats the sun and doesn't let it go for 6 months of the year. Oh,
That's great.
This is
changing
why.
the world. One mind
look
at a
at
time.
these kids and they go, you can't tell them, say you ain't got no, because you're forcing white culture on them. They have no culture. They have the American culture, which is ignorance and gluttony, largely, not solely. But
Yes.
yeah, so you're not forcing your culture on them. You're giving them the realization that it exists.
I'm being a storyteller. I forget that, but I am. I'm inspiring their mind. And when you say something like the winter wolf ate
Yeah.
the sun, I think, whoa. And
Much better.
And we
than
talk
went down
about
on
that, and I
sun.
talk about melanin and how I have freckles, and that's gathering of melanin, but their skin is full of it, and how they radiate heat and how I absorb heat. And you can see they've never even considered the possibility of anything like this before.
They
And it
probably
does.
don't know that
They
the
smile
color
like,
white
wow.
reflects heat and black absorbs heat.
Yeah,
And I'm not talking skin color at all there. I'm talking about actual color. By the way,
actual, yeah.
Wynn says my
And
Polish...
in tone, in paint, our tone, black is all colors, but in
Right.
the light spectrum, white is all colors. So in reality, we're all colors.
Somebody fucked up somewhere. Artists or
Does that mean
scientists, one of
some
those
shit
fuckers.
makes sense?
It's like the Far Side cartoon where God has all those jars and one spilt over. Ah, damn. It is humanity running out.
Yeah.
Toei says my Polish family name is a little easier to say. And glasses Pietkowski.
Yeah. What is
Probably
it?
easy to
Right.
say once you learn how to say it.
Pashetsny is like keeper of the bees, I think, is the closest we've gotten.
Because you never
Oh.
give anybody an A as a teacher.
Oh, that was bad, Travis.
You're welcome.
You know, there's
It is.
scientists
Break
have
time.
been develop- Oh,
We ready? Okay,
It's been 2 hours.
back.
Time flies.
Shh, mute yourselves.
Talk the Tavern. Here you're always welcome.
Kinky Vixen. That's my kind of woman. That must be some kind of fucking lifestyle. Love rocks. Oh, I'm magically fabulous. Oh yeah, massage my ball. Armageddon antsy. Do you know what time it is?
I don't know. Mine stops. My.
Armageddon antsy. Do you know what time it is?
I don't know. Mine watch stopped in 2012.
Men Plus Care? Where the hell did they get that? Had to be made in a lab. I'm hungry for fashion. I'll have some coily custard. Or maybe I'm in the mood for a little jelly soft curls. Nope. I know what I want. I want some curly meringue. Nothing like pew pie. Mommy's baby. That's where mommy keeps the baby. At least it's ashes. Hey, want to see the definition of morning wood? Look what I found. Mrs. Sullivan's pecan pie. Just like my family.
I love pie. More nuts. No trans fat.
No, we probably have that in my family.
In Russia, shit fuck you.
In Russia, penis fuck penis.
What?
In Russia. Monkey do see hear you. Speak evil.
In Russia, the penis make vodka. Vodka. Drink it. Drink it.
In Russia.
Soviet Russia. Barrel rolls you.
In Russia. Penis turn you on.
We don't use lights. We turn each other on.
So in Russia, light turn you on? No?
Oh.
Yet.
Yet.
In
Soviet Russia, beer drinks you.
In Russia, banana peel you.
Oh.
I must break you. Let's go pee.
In Russia, pee go you.
America.
Bacon!
Going down. They're all natural.
Talk the tavern. Here you're always welcome.
Aw, it's just like the one Grandma had, but not without all the bloody chunks.
We're not gonna catch them with this attack.
Here, let me help.
Oh, bonjour, and how are you, mademoiselle?
Ah, sehr gut, mein Herr. Ich liebe diese heute Tag.
This is the way that they...
Why are you doing that? Oh.
See, it says grill it up, because it's grilling season, right? But then we look at other things, like, here, turn it now.
Run, children, run!
Oh, wrong way. They didn't make it.
They look tasty, though.
They do. Tender. Like veal. You just have to beat them before so they're tender. Oh my god, it says Rose!
So, Travis.
Okay, we press play this time.
Okay.
Am I beautiful?
Let me adjust. Let me get my racket.
So I hear you need to trim your bush because you've got a crabgrass problem.
How did he know? Do you think it'll work?
No idea.
A fool?
Travis, grab a shovel. I know what we're gonna do today.
Sweet. Go.
Oh, I'd love to get a big one for the house. I mean, it just gives such good air quality.
That's what she said. Go in.
Read.
Oh!
Can you dig it?
I got the scoop on this story.
Cut.
Okay, we're back. So, welcome to the third hour. Give us a quick roll call. Let us know who's still in the Summer Hizzle. Their show. Richard, what were you gonna ask,
It's
bud?
so funny watching her run with that
I know,
axe.
it's great, isn't it?
What was that?
I was about to ask you, Travis, that I got to leave.
Oh, I'm sorry, buddy. Yeah, it's you
All
have a
right,
great
man.
night, and we will catch
Hey,
you
all
again
right.
next time around, okay?
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely.
It's been fun.
You're on, Richard.
Take care, man.
Thanks,
Bye, Richard.
Bye, you too. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Bye now.
Bye-bye.
Oh.
There we go. Okay, let me adjust the
What's
screen
that?
now and make it right. What? What's what?
No, the video was funny. I love when Elizabeth runs down the aisle with the axe. That is my favorite. And you changed your shirt again, yet again.
It's a gimmick.
Why?
Is that a dwarf? It is.
Oh, it's grumpy.
Elizabeth.
Yeah, baby. Jeez, that's enormous.
That is still in my office to this day. I love it. If you don't know, Elizabeth painted that for me. And do you want to? Should I admit the date that's on the back?
Yeah, go for it.
1994.
Oh wow.
We need to. I need to varnish that for you. Get a little protection on there.
I actually have a frame designed for it, but I have to get it's 3D and get it all cut out. And
which character was that again?
That's Delphix, the dwarf. That's my main character. Yeah, one of them. Yeah, that was awesome.
I'm honored. I thought it was in your bathroom.
Okay, maybe it is.
Yes, son of a bitch.
Office, bathroom, what's the difference?
No, it's right. It sits right next to my throne. No, I have many paintings, probably 10 in my bathroom that are all characters that people have painted for me and stuff. So it's fun.
Oh, I like. What's that, Andrea?
I had to find my mute button. This is my character in D&D.
Oh.
In D&D or in Star Wars?
Oh, Star Wars. Yeah, you
Okay.
knew what I meant. Yeah. Star Wars. That other one? It's a bobblehead. Travis got me this.
Awesome. I wanna play Star Wars, but I'd play a Wookiee and then would just grumble and growl and
That's okay. My translator would say what it says.
Everybody smile.
You should see my room is trash. This is great. I was thinking about summertime. And I was thinking about how life seems to slow down and we get to have those moments where for me, when I see my first firefly or lightning bug, it's like, I see it. And then there's moments when you're surrounded by them and then you see your last one and then, it's all done. And then in fall, I hear my first owl. That's usually that area of time. And hot dogs, burnt to black hot dogs on the grill.
Awesome. I was out and threw a big pork loin in my smoker the other day. And that smell, I love it. It's summertime all over the place.
Is that how you have a baby?
Exactly.
What were you doing there?
So a pork loin in your smoker.
What was that?
Summertime. Go ahead.
What were you doing there? Like feeling around, trying to do CPR on yourself?
Yeah.
And the pork loin. Getting it prepped.
Hey, it's all about, we're talking about school, and I learned something today, and that was awesome. Honey, can I show you what I learned today?
I can't know.
My wife is running away.
Richard was talking about parties in the garden. In Germany, parties are real big in the spring, summer, and fall with the wine. Because every darn little community makes wine and makes their own wine. And yeah, it's a lot of fun. it's blurry fun, but people drink and they laugh, and I have memories, blurry memories of those moments, and it's extraordinary. So summertime, yeah. And you always leave a little because the bees are out. You always leave a little sacrificial plate, little beer on it, little taste of each food you're eating, so the bees will go there and leave your own plate alone.
Nice.
How's that working for you?
It works great, actually. I don't have a problem. I'm the keeper of the bees. I don't have a problem. That's what Bichette's me.
Uh-huh. Bob has a question, Travis.
Oh, Bob is here, right?
Hi, Bob.
No, Travis doesn't. And by the way, thank you for the bits. Hey, here's to you with some rum cream, key lime rum cream.
He's gotten serious. Should we do a tune-up? What everyone's drinking, just to info.
Well, I'll start. It's the Blue Chair Bay key lime rum cream that I've moved on to. It's very good, very good. What do you got, Andrea?
Water. Another bottle.
Yay. Everyone else?
Lake Chelan's Pirate Rum.
Sweet Fire iced tea, my own concoction.
What's in
Lemonade.
Sweet Fire? What's in Sweet Fire iced tea?
Fireball, slow brewed tea, and honey.
And love. And Aiden's is actually, it's not fresh squeezed lemonade, but it's real lemonade. So it's not a powder mix.
You make your own lemonade, Aiden?
No, my father makes it.
Aiden has made it previously. It's the real lemon, the lemon juice you buy in the jar.
I know of many things, my friend. Yes.
I used to make fresh squeezed lemonade and limeades when I worked at the soda fountain with the press and the.
Wow.
Was it the hot dog hut or whatever that is, where you wear the big hat?
No, it was an actual 1950s soda fountain lunch counter in a pharmacy.
Cool. Did you call everybody Hun?
No. Everybody called me that.
Whatever nationality they were from, not just Huns.
There's a little joke for you geography and history buffs.
Cream soda and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Made everything, and sundaes and sometimes banana splits, but yeah.
Ice cream is phenomenal in the summer.
Do you guys make your own ice cream ever?
I have.
Crank the stupid thing. Well, now you can probably Bluetooth it on your phone, but homemade ice cream, seriously, so good.
It is.
They have the electric ones now. They churn themselves.
Yeah, they do.
Where's the fun in that? Seriously.
Make sure you switch arms.
Yeah.
Is it really creamy, or do you get a bunch of ice crystals in it? The homemade ice cream.
No, if you do it right, it's not a lot of ice crystals. Yeah. No, you can if you do it right.
If you do it like Floridians, a lot of ice crystals.
So it's crystals, and then you can snort it. You'll be fine.
Oh, Toey has a Cuisinart that makes ice cream.
Nice.
See, we're gonna have like a frozen drink party. We can do that. All you need is a blender instead of an ice cream party.
And alcohol and ice.
We can do an ice cream party. Have everybody churn their own ice cream.
We could have a party, and I'll bring the lemons.
I'll be gone that day.
I will be recording.
The party?
I won't be there. Sorry.
What, Aiden?
I'm going to my mother's that week for the lemon party. I can't be there that day. I'm so sorry.
$20 is $20, right?
True story.
Toey's Cuisinart makes frozen drinks too. Well, I need one of those.
Come on down. Jeez.
All right. Yeah.
Bright light. It hurts.
Oh God, all night.
You okay, Travis?
Oh, yeah.
Quiet.
I'm sorry.
I didn't know if you were busy doing other stuff.
Shh, don't wake him.
That's right. He'll respond.
Are you okay? Are you okay? Are you okay?
I'm
I
here
need
to
to
help
come check
you.
on you.
Did I touch you?
Touch me, baby.
That's like a first
What is
date.
this
What are you
episode involved
doing?
in?
What
You
are
do
your
that-
first dates like?
You do that on a first date? What's left for the third date?
Like, what my first
That's
date?
when the lemon party comes in.
It's so funny because when I looked up lemon party, initially all the pictures were really cute of these big lemons, happy and dancing. And,
Don't tell them what the other pictures are.
I clicked a little
No,
further,
leave-
and it
leave it
wasn't
at that.
happy. It was happy.
It was happy, all right.
It was happy, but a different type of happy.
Yeah, very wrinkly.
Yeah.
And gray and white and hairy and long.
Yeah, it was.
Unforgettable.
Thank you.
Strangers and nice.
Says with the therapist.
Oh my goodness.
I'm not sure I was crazy before I started hosting this show, but I'm pretty sure I am now.
We're glad
Thank
we
you
can
very
help.
You're welcome.
I can attest, Elizabeth, you were crazy before this. I'm sorry to, put the expose on it, but yeah.
Well, it takes one to know one.
So what's your plans for the summer? Are you going to do a movie or are you... I know you're looking for a job, but when you get this other job, I'm
writing
what's your plans?
another screenplay, and I'm writing another horror screenplay, and a bunch of Pickleman ones. Excuse me. And the Kleds, talk amongst yourselves. Those are my big plans, and I'm hoping to get back to Virginia in July.
Okay.
Oh, and get this fabulous job, which will pay all my bills. And
Yeah, you'll
help me
get that.
Great vacations. All right, how about you? What's your big goals?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't have one. I don't have one. Anyone else?
All right, next up. Who's up?
I'm launching a new show.
Tell us about it.
It's called It's the Beer Show.
Oh.
And it's going to be a
diamond distributor, De Beer.
Yeah, exactly. And we're going to drink diamonds. It's a higher class of show. No, it's going to be a talk show. It's going to be a YouTube channel and a podcast. And we're going to sit down in brew pubs, which Portland is thick with them, and sample their beers. We're going to talk a little bit about their beers, but we're mainly going to talk to the guest and have a conversation. And it's in development right now. I'm working with a couple of people. Go ahead.
High five.
Will you take live on the street recording?
Another drunk Elizabeth with a cell phone.
No, but if the show takes off, Elizabeth, I'll fly you out and you can be the guest host on the show. That would be so much fun.
Do you already have a YouTube channel?
No, this is purely I have the name, I have the domain name, and secured that, and yeah, it's still in development.
Do
I'm
you
open
use
to launch
Instagram?
it. I do for my It's Wood.
I read an article this morning that Instagram is going to start like 1 hour streaming to have 1 hour videos. I'll send you the thing because it might be another platform. I'll send you the article.
Mm-hmm. But that's what I'm trying to accomplish this summer. Plus, I'm setting up another trip for It's Wood for the podcast, more interviews. I just went to the, the American Association of Wood Turners Convention, and was totally humbled by the amount of skill that some of these people have. And I came home with a stack of business cards like that, and I'm working my way through setting up interviews and things like that. So it's going to be a busy summer.
Aiden?
I got really nothing going on.
Well,
What about you?
You do.
Why not?
Yeah.
Why not?
You
Why
have
not?
a
You're
Boy
young.
Scout
You got
camp
energy.
that I won't see you for a week because you're going to be there.
Aiden, you're a Boy Scout?
Yeah.
Awesome. I'm a
Yeah.
Weebelows leader. And we have summer camp coming up.
Yeah. Mine is in 2 weeks. Not even.
Nice.
What are you going to be doing there?
Basically, I'm just going to pound out a few merit badges that are required for the Eagle Scout rank.
Glad you went with merit badges at the end of that sentence.
I am too. Hey, Aiden.
Yeah?
I'm an official Eagle Scout mentor. So when you need something, give me a holler.
Okay, I'll keep that in mind. Thank you.
That's right.
But
So, So Aiden, what do you think about that they're letting girls in scouting now? What's your opinion as a scout?
I don't care. It won't affect me.
Very true.
I just don't care. It's not a big deal.
Yeah. Some people are pretty shook about that.
Okay. That's their problem.
Just curious.
I have an opinion on that.
Go ahead.
I'm all for, everybody being able to do everything. But you still should have that separation for some things. It's good to let everybody in, but sometimes you just got to draw the line. That's just me. I think the Boy Scouts should have their Boy Scouts and girls should have their Girl Scouts,
There's adventure. There's adventure scouting. So if you're a girl or a boy and you want to be with both, you can do the adventure scouting.
Yeah, keep some of the traditions around. I mean, whether you agree with it or not. If you don't agree with it, don't do it.
Well, I've long said that there's no problem with women's clubs or men's clubs. I don't have a problem with gender separation because there's points in time we learn certain skill sets from a specific gender. Now, whether that's right or wrong or old-fashioned and outdated, we can discuss that for hours. But yeah, there's times there are differences between the sexes. As much as, yes, equality, absolutely, when it comes to jobs, etc., I celebrate the differences between a man and a woman, not just sexual, but that too, as much as I do any ethnic difference between me and my friends. I want those differences because it makes us unique and special. So, yeah, have a men's club, have a ladies' knitting circle or a ladies' club or whatever. And Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts,
also,
it's reasonable. Go ahead.
Yeah, also like certain cultures, they have their own group. Let them have their own group, and then they can have another group that's open to everyone.
Yeah,
but I
called
think
America.
you should keep some of that alive. Yeah.
It's yeah, we can celebrate our differences, but we can also be allowed to be different without having to bring everybody into what we're doing. That makes us different.
Yeah.
And that is not knocking the Boy Scouts' decisions. I long had no offense to you Boy Scout people, I long had a problem with the Boy Scouts because they had issues with gays and lesbians, at least officially. On the troop level, quite often not the case. But I've also seen repeatedly Boy Scouts be very selective, cull out the herd, create outsiders within their own group, and work that way, like, human nature does. So for this reason, I have never celebrated Boy Scouts. I was treated that way when I was in it. I saw Aiden when he first entered until pretty recently be treated that way. But, yeah, if they want to allow girls in, they can. If they want to keep it all boys, I'm good with that.
I think if we're going, I mean, I agree, and I like to add.
Bye, Toby.
I think if we're going to live a life and we identify ourselves either as a gender or a person, we need to, yes, we need to do so in all environments, but perhaps begin with an environment where we're comfortable, where there is a mutual agreement, where there is a strength and a cohesion. And then we can begin to test that character in other groups and then expand. And I think when we don't allow that, and we don't, boys are a little different than girls, and that's okay to say that.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Just don't say it in public where other people can hear.
Yeah, and it's okay. I think we should, if we're going to be open-minded, if we're going to allow diversity, then we have to allow inclusivity, or however the hell we say that. We have to allow groups to be similar as well as different. And there's nothing wrong with that.
If you wanted to create a group where everybody is welcome, groups get together because they have a specific interest or commonality or whatever. So to go, oh, everybody's included, you have now just created a group called
Everybody.
Yeah.
School.
Well, not even school. Because I'm not allowed to go into a public school and hang out. That's creepy.
Well, you are if you're allowed.
Well, it's part of his probation agreement.
Well, they have groups for single parents with kids. You don't want just some whatever being in that group, so it's good to have these groups.
Has its reasons and its purpose, and they're very specific, as they should be. And like you said, if it's a single parenting group, if it's Boy Scouts, if it's D&D players, or broad spectrum gamers for video or tabletop, whatever. You don't
but
want...
Doesn't it just feel like, there was a time in, I think, like 70s, 80s, where everyone was just getting along, having fun, and then it became the age of, how can we ruin this? How can I be the turd in the punch bowl? And that's where we are now, and people just won't allow each other to just be. Can we just,
now, everybody has pink eye.
And I was I don't want to go off on that tangent. You let each other be.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just learn from each other. And if you don't like what they're doing, take an interest. Learn something about them. Find something positive about what you don't like, and then take that away from it.
Which is
extend yourself.
It's not that hard to do either.
Someone said to me yesterday in that meeting where I was called a very racial comment, they said, I said, oh, the World Cup, you watch the World Cup. I don't like sports. And I said, I started watching more sports so I could talk to my father about more things. So I took an active interest in what he likes. I really don't like golf, but I kind of pay attention so we can talk. And there's things I watch so my brother and I can talk. Like, how about extending yourself? Being, welcoming. That's all I got to say.
Thank you, Forrest Gump. That's all I got to say about that. But I agree with you.
Forrest Run.
But yeah, I agree with you. There's
Extend yourself. Be kind.
And that's something we're going to say ad nauseum on the show. This is why we accept people like Bob with his .04.
Good no.
Good no.
Do you know Bob, Dan?
Do I know Bob or a Bob?
Do you know of Bob?
Of.
Just what comments have been made, yeah. Isn't he the .04 African American or yeah.
He celebrates it.
Awesome. He's working on the afro and
on the part that still grows.
So in the back, yeah.
He's gonna have
a little further
mullet.
south.
So he's African American on the part that grows. What?
Afro American.
I have heard that, and some people think that's what it is, which might make more sense actually.
Are you saying he's a
Afro-American?
black mushroom?
Maybe. What?
Maybe this is why Richard doesn't want to hang out with us anymore.
Yeah.
Because he's smart. I don't know.
We went from summer to smut. Because
it is the third hour.
Sounds like a good movie.
Richard's
The Summer of Smut.
Richard's like, oh, I got something to do. Yeah, I'm out of here.
It went from summer to twisting titties to whatever this is.
You got a problem with that? I don't have a problem with that.
I would love the challenge of writing a really good D&D movie. I would love that challenge.
Okay, go ahead.
Totally accept it.
You can use my book.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah. There needs to be a really good D&D movie.
And not D&D like you're already in the game. Like D&D. Like I thought Jumanji, I kind of seen tidbits of the latest one. I thought originally the original Jumanji, and then they did the Zathura space one. I thought they weren't bad. I thought they were kind of fun, toying with that idea of getting absorbed into a game. And
So
it became
is that
a
what
reality.
you're talking about? People from our world going to a medieval fantasy world, or you just talking about a good medieval fantasy adventure?
Oh, I'd have to play with that idea.
There's an awesome series. There's an awesome series of books that they take the players into the D&D world. It's the Guardian of the Flames series. And if you haven't read it, read it.
The first book or two was great, and after that,
it was
a rehash. It got dry.
It's tough.
Have you seen the new Jumanji?
I've seen parts of it. Yeah,
it's fun.
Okay, I liked it. I enjoyed it. It's not a remake. It's a new take on it.
I do love the idea of exploring a new discovered power and then having to adapt to it, especially with your friends or your frenemies that you're trying. I do like that, but I also like, and I've been toying around with it, and I haven't quite written it yet because I'm still doing low budget, where the characters are very experienced, and yet it's like 20 years after they were all cohesive and running these great adventures. And now they've kind of broken apart.
So like
and
Red
then they
and
have
Red
to come
2?
back together. Like what?
The movie Red?
Kind of.
Because
bunch of old retired characters.
Where you go to make that sword swing you're really good at, and he gives out. Son of a bitch.
My spine.
Aiden?
My earbuds just died, so I'm gonna have to get off because if I don't, there will be a few.
No, actually, your sound is better now than it was with your earbuds.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Really?
Yeah.
So you can stay if you want. If you're
We
just
love
looking
you,
for a
Aiden.
reason
Don't
to
leave.
bail, then absolutely, you're free to
No.
bail.
He's gonna go play with Richard.
It's like these fucking old people. We're out of here.
You think that's what Richard said?
Fucking Yanks. Bloody Yanks. I'm out of here. I don't know. I think it's such a fun genre, and I don't care what a lot of people said to me. I really liked Willow. I thought it was a fun movie.
I liked Willow. My only issue with it, I wish they hadn't tried to do as much. I think they would have been better doing, like, pick the trolls or the dragons, but I think your budget got stretched too far. You didn't do either of them as well as you could have. And
they're making a new one.
I'm sorry. They are?
I've heard they're making a new one. Yeah, they just greenlighted it, and Ron Howard is doing it, and yeah.
Oh, I loved when they turned to pigs. That was just evil and awful moment. Oh.
Speaking of D&D and role playing and all this cool stuff, I'm for all of our viewers, because I was on mute, nobody heard me. All of our viewers, I put a shout out to my channel. We'll be playing Star Wars for a little bit tonight, 8 o'clock. Check it out. Follow.
Yeah.
Sweet.
It's a lot of fun.
Andrea wins the prize this week.
You want me to tell for having to do what?
Remember, Monday I said we should do a prize where it's between Andrea and I on who's on mute, and we start talking.
Oh, yeah.
And no one
So
Right.
I don't think enough people are watching for us to bother to update them on where we are in the game.
8 o'clock, I'll be there. And Andrea, if I'm not there, send me a text and I'll throw on my laptop and I'll be there.
Cool.
Sometimes I'm doing a lot of freelancing, so I forget. I'm a little overwhelmed.
Very silly and very fun.
And a cat cam. You get to see all the cats run around.
Get a kitty! You're gonna attach a camera to some of your cats so we get the full effect.
No, I do put a camera in the middle of the couch between the cushions and the bottom, so it's at cat level.
Ah, no way.
And I have the red light, the red dot. I had to get a new one. I don't know what happened to it when you left.
I broke it. Sorry.
I got a new one.
Away? Did you throw it away?
I had new batteries, but whatever. I got a new one, and I just run the red light, the red dot, so they go crazy. It's fun.
There we go.
Do you know how many dogs do you have, Dan?
Just one. Come here.
Which,
Come here. Elizabeth.
Hey!
He can't hear you. I've got headphones on. Oh, you can hear her through my headphones.
She's loud.
That's Elizabeth. I've told you about her.
Ethan, you're better looking than your father.
Andrea. That's not hard, right?
Not hard to do.
That's Elizabeth.
All right. What are you guys off to? Oh, okay. You were just waving at me. Okay. He says bye. That is the love of my life.
You and Carrie make good kids.
Yeah, I guess. We raising them right.
Yeah, good recipe.
Smacking them around. And...
marinate them in love and beat that.
Hey, my daughter plays D&D now, and she's been DMing. Ethan played a game with me. We're raising him right, you know. He kicks my butt in video games all the time.
Is your daughter on YouTube or?
No, she plays D&D online, but I mean they don't broadcast it or anything. But she still won't play with me. I guess that's just weird, you know. Oh, Dad,
it's instinctual. It's the best. It's just what it is. And then when they're 30, they'll come back for money. It'll be beautiful.
But if I have time, I'll sit and watch you guys play Star Wars. That sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's silly. We don't take it too seriously, and it works out great.
Hopefully, it's entertaining.
Since we're streaming, well, you know, Des stayed for both hours. You know, we've had people watch for both hours, both nights we've done it. So, I guess.
Toey was there last night. It won't be too late tonight. Maybe 2 hours because I have to get up and leave at 5 a.m.
What?
Yay.
Adulting.
That sucks. Hashtag adulting sucks. Yeah.
Yeah, I tell that. I tell the kid, I draw them in by saying, it's hard to be a kid. You know, like, oh, wait till you try being an adult. It's impossible. You're never going to get it.
I'm looking forward to Sunday. I think that's going to be a blast playing with you guys. Well, most of you guys.
Playing Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh, well, that too, yeah.
It's a very different kind of blast you'll have.
It may change. Things could change. You just keep your faith. Keep sending good energy.
Well,
it's very close.
We have less cats now because I've been sacrificing animals to the job gods.
Well, it is summer now. First day of summer.
First day of summer.
I have some little teeny tiny dice.
Awesome. I have some malachite dice and some what's the blue one? Lapis lazuli dice.
I've got some really big dice.
See, I have my book that I use, I have dice in I use for my games right now, but then I have my leathery sack full of dice.
I got a leathery sack, but it's not full of dice. Awesome.
Wow, it's almost 6 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Are you still adjusting everything?
Now and again.
I'm
I
sorry.
see it
I thought I
moving.
got an email from my job and I didn't.
Oh.
Anytime my blinker goes off.
Oh.
Could be work. Could be work. Yeah.
Could be full-time benefits, vacation. Yay.
That'd be awesome.
Insurance. Yeah.
The big thing is full-time money.
Yeah. Yeah.
What good is insurance without the money? Because then you got co-pays and...
True. True.
It's just, when I was in Virginia, it'd be spring, and about late spring, the little baby Canada geese would be born.
Yeah.
And we'd have these little yellow tennis balls running around the yard.
Oh.
And then about midsummer, they'd become these long gray legs and gray with these little attitudes. And you'd go out, and we would feed the Muscovy ducks, and then the Canada geese would just eat the corn. And these little gray gooselings would like hiss at you with these little tongues, and then they'd run because they didn't know what to do.
They're just like regular kids.
Yeah, I mean, exactly like kids. And then they're teenagers, and they're tripping over each other and hissing and biting and getting in fights, smoking cigarettes.
Stealing cars.
Carrying around
doing their pot. Doing
Did
their
they have
pot.
little leather jackets and switchblades? That'd be awesome.
It was
Having dance rumbles.
Yeah. He took it from him.
Little goose signs. West side. Yeah.
And then you have the extremist, who you see him with their really short haircuts and their goose step.
Oh.
Good job. Good job.
What are you doing, Zach?
Now it's just cockroaches in the bathroom looking for water. But they still smoke, but they don't have anywhere to put out the cigarettes, so they leave them by the toilet.
Leaves a little brown
I
stain
hate-
on the
I
edge
hate
of the
that.
porcelain.
Oh.
Whoa! Oh!
He's just been sitting there for the past 20 minutes staring at me.
Zazzle!
Was he standing there with his hand up, like something to say?
Yeah, she's just been sitting there for 20 minutes staring at me.
Happy. Because she's happy and good.
She's not staring at you anymore. She doesn't like you because you called her out.
It's weird, because since we got back from break, she came in and she sat there and...
Touch it.
Mine
They do
hasn't
that.
visited today. He usually crawls up in my lap while I'm doing this.
Yeah. No pussy for you.
Plus, the cat won't come and visit me.
Meow.
How many people are watching us right now? What can we do?
I don't know. What do they want us to do?
1, 2...
Hold on a second. We have Kennedy and Bob, according to the list.
Uh-oh.
Now, there are another half dozen people, but it's like us and then the bots and... Yeah, what were you
Who
at,
knows?
Hayden?
We don't know if they're real or not, but... Cannoli.
Cannoli.
Hayden, you were asking something. What was it?
Who you got in the background?
Oh, which background? Yours? That would be Squirrel over here. Immediately to my right, I have Cuttlefish. There's Harry over there. Giraffe is in
How's
the
it?
basket. And Otter's laying in front of the fan by the door. And I think Goblin is over there with a cigarette, a switchblade, and a leather jacket.
I love
Travis
when giraffes
has
in
an
the basket.
excessive amount of pussies.
Yeah. Love it.
A plethora of pussies.
Plethora of pussies.
But it's not enough pussy to spare.
Pussy party.
Pussy.
To go with the lemon party.
There's no thumbs, so they gotta go.
Well, the wives have to be doing something during that, right?
They
Like
could
going
just,
to the ladies' room.
yeah, they could just.
I should
clog
do.
you.
I should do a whole show with my VR helmet on, because I
Yes.
can watch you guys in VR.
Ah.
Just sit there with this.
Yes.
Yeah, but then the
I
whole time
wonder
we'd
if
keep on
Skype-
saying, "Stay on target, stay on target."
Target.
I wonder if Skype has something for the Samsung VR, because I could do the same thing for
I
about
don't know.
20 minutes, then my phone dies.
I have one of those, but I don't have a phone that fits it anymore.
Can't be good for the eyes.
No.
It really isn't.
It's not bad. It's there. I mean, at least the Vive that I have is not bad.
Aiden will get headaches if he stares at screens for too long.
Yeah.
Especially smaller ones. TV, not as much, but sometimes even that'll trigger him.
It's a propensity. A lot of that is from, I don't know Aiden's condition, but we don't blink enough and we get focused on the focal distance, which is held. And normally in life, we're constantly adjusting this distance. Mm-hmm. And it helps to, look away from the screen, and it helps to moisturize your eyes.
Aiden, when I first got glasses, I was a big reader.
And change your refreshing rate on your screen. Sorry.
Okay.
No
problem. When I first got glasses in my early teens, I was a big reader. And the eye doctor said to me, make sure every couple minutes you look up away from the book and let your eyes adjust, which is exactly what Elizabeth is saying. So you see how when I'm running the show, I'm constantly, I look over here, I look out there, I look over here. I keep my focus adjusting because I find if I focus dicks. If I
So
focus,
because she said that, do we have to pay her the copay?
And the refreshing rate. Change the refreshing rate on your screen. Everyone has a different rate that appeals to them. Mine tends to be a little faster.
Hey, she's not a doctor, but $20 is $20.
$20, I'm not a gynecologist,
but she plays one in the bedroom.
$20. Oh my!
Well done.
I'm not a gynecologist, but I play one at the grade school. What? Ooh, went there.
No. So on the way home, this is New York. I was walking, kind of feeling cool, my little cowboy hat on, listening to my music, and on the way home, I got another supply of condoms.
Good for you.
How's that working for you?
Well, they make good water balloons.
Harder to catch because of lubrication.
I'm glad you said water balloons.
Well,
when you have sex with yourself, you don't need protection. I'm not sure how much trust I'm going to put in a condom someone gives me on the streets of New York.
You need to put a little condom hat on your pickle, right?
All these are fresh. They're moist. I'll let you know.
They're also good for cleaning chicken grease off your fingers at restaurants.
But I do have to say this, okay? On the walk home, it's got to be at least once a month. They have bunches of condoms. I mean, you could sit there and scoop them up. But also, there's the big Winnebago pulls up, and they will test you for HIV right then and there. And it's a really good thing. And I tend to be a little more conservative in my views, but I think it's fantastic being so proactive in stopping a horrendous disease and helping people. And every time I pass, I'm like, good job, guys. And I keep it going. So,
do you want me to read it?
Yeah.
Okay. Bob says, Elizabeth, I could be there in 3 minutes. Be up there in 3 minutes.
To test you for AIDS? Or?
No, because all the condoms.
Oh.
He's willing to help.
Yeah.
Good man.
He's a helper.
He's a helper. He's a
$20
helper.
is $20.
$20. Anyone else? Travis, you had your hand up.
I was.
Travis wants to be up there in 3 minutes.
$20. When did my rates become so low?
Ever since you've had them.
Oh.
At least you have rates.
True story.
Lifestyle. This one's king. I wonder if this one's bigger than the others.
It's kind.
Why does it need to be bigger? You can. The regular ones get huge.
I'm afraid because of the spelling. And I got personal lubricant.
As opposed to non-personal.
In case you have to lubricate a person.
Do you think I could get a lot of hits on Twitch if I use those?
You can get hit on a lot.
What are you gonna do?
I don't want to talk. Anyway, so that was just. I just wanted to say like that. That's a positive moment. You sit there and an enormous man and drag queen is handing out these condoms, and of course I take them because he's looking after me. That doesn't mean I have to agree with everything he's done in his life or anything, but he's trying to help people protect themselves.
That's awesome.
I think that's phenomenal.
And Bob says raincoat.
And his hair looked fabulous. Travis, sorry.
What, Travis?
Okay. Bob says raincoats for people's pickles.
Dan, do you wear a raincoat for your pickle?
When I was having sex, yeah.
Well,
I'm married.
You're not doing it right now.
You don't have sex anymore?
Once a month, whether I deserve it or not. $20 is $20.
Who's paying who?
Yeah, you can figure that out on your own.
No, she can't, apparently.
No.
Oh, Grandma, we take a turn. Yeah.
Yeah, now we're talking about Dan's depressing sex life. That's great content right there.
We tried to talk about his non-depressing sex life, but apparently that just didn't work out.
Yeah.
Look, that's all hands on deck. That's what I say. I'm having a sad sex life. All hands on deck.
Literally, all hands on dick. What?
Whatever you got, man. Cuntalicious. Let's see.
Cuntalicious. Yeah.
No. Yeah.
Wow. How is it down to one person, one viewer? When
Really? Do you have to ask? Is there reason for clarification?
The subject matter changed. Everybody's running for the hills.
Considering
I thought we were talking.
what we got going on next week.
70 to 80% of Twitch are people under the age of 25, and we're like, why did they leave when all the old people start talking dirty? Okay. Let's see. Thank you. Thank
Bob
you, Bob
likes it.
Bob's like, look at the young people talk dirty. Okay.
You kids and your filth.
Next Monday we have the guest Aaron Ashley joining us for CSI IRL, and we're going to discuss forensics and other fun hobbies to do when the police aren't looking. Tuesday, I believe it's Tea Time with Mad Hatter. I have to verify that. Wednesday, though, we have Biffer, the dwarf from the movie The Hobbit, and also one of the trolls, William Kircher joining us. And then Thursday, we have Zola Mark of Pink Cocoon out of Canada joining us to talk about his music.
Oh, yeah.
So that's what we're going on over the next
week. All that and tea.
What was that place that squished your own lemonade and wore the big hats? Was that Hot Dog Shack or?
No, but we did have, we had ice cream trucks, but we also had the lemon, what were they called? Like lemon squeezy or something like that? They had a whole fleet of trucks.
I think that's where you...
And
I remember Orange Julius.
I can't remember.
A truck that came around your neighborhood.
You know, when Orange Julius went away, that broke my heart. I loved Orange Julius.
They were good.
I even have an egg in it. I loved it. I love being able to go to some place. Like now when I go out, like I'm on my way to class, my only options are either coffee or water. I mean, because I try not to eat sugar or corn syrup. And Dan, did you get it?
The restaurant is called Hot Dog on a Stick.
Hot dog on a stick.
On a stick.
And we still have Orange Julius's.
No.
Really?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
There's one in the mall.
You need to take a picture of that. I don't believe you.
Yeah, you do.
What about Cinnabon?
No, I got one of those too.
God, my God.
I go into diabetic shock just walking past that place.
It smells so good.
Wow.
Wow,
Somebody was there's a baseball stadium, like a minor league, not a minor league, but like a AAA or whatever they are. They just opened up, and they always make it's incredible food, and something that they just introduced is a hamburger on a cinnamon bun or a cinnamon roll with a burger and cut in half with a burger. Yeah.
See, no, that's too excessive. Remember that whole, including everything? No.
No. Yeah.
Keep that separate.
Yeah. You push them apart.
I remember when they did the grilled cheese sandwiches with the burger in the middle.
Yeah.
And they were calling it like the defibrillator or something.
If you put it on rye and have grilled onions, yeah, exactly.
One of our favorite things to do when we travel down to California, my wife and I always have to hit In-N-Out Burger.
Of course.
Oh my Lord.
Never been there.
Oh, it's a West Coast thing.
Their fries.
It's similar to Five Guys in concept, Andrea, where you got a burger or you got a double burger. You're welcome. We're done here.
Yeah.
And
So
fries.
it's West Coast Five Guys.
And the fries are a little thinner, though. They're not steak fries, and they're not normal fries. They're just a touch thinner, just a touch of skin on them.
They're like shoestring fries, but they're like pressed cut right in the store.
Okay, so it is like Five Guys. God.
Yeah.
We
Now
had
I'm
one
hungry.
like about 45 minutes away, and then they moved. Now it's like, is that Scrimp Shack or is that the Beef Jerky Hut or some crap outlet?
Scrimp
Yeah.
Shack
Beef
replaced
Jerky Hut?
Five Guys, but
There
there's
it
a
is.
place called Beef Jerky Hut.
Nice.
Yeah.
I've seen a beef jerky hat.
They probably have that there.
And I'll tell you.
Go
ahead.
You were talking about hats, and I told you I went to the Wood Turners convention and stuff. A dude had a cowboy hat, solid wood. Well, not solid, but it was all made out of wood. It was amazing.
One piece, or?
Well, I'm sure it was made out of multiple pieces, and it's like the veneer, but it was a proper cowboy hat, and
It'd be
it
heavy.
was just it was all real thin wood, just like the leather would be.
Oh.
So I mean, it wasn't a solid block of wood; it was all thin, curved veneers, and
God, don't drop that. That's cool, though.
It was very cool.
Damn it. I
Are we
keep
gonna rate
checking my email for that job.
Oh,
damn it.
During the break, I just went and popped up my stats for my show. I just broke 20,000 downloads this morning.
Hey.
Good for you.
Well
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Wait, where's the applause button? It won't let me do it anymore.
Really?
It stopped.
Here, I've got him here. I can whip out my applause.
Well,
Yeah, can. And we're all frozen in the greatest poses. Or,
We are.
on mine, because internet. It's funny. Oh yay! Kennedy made it to Jersey. Oh, we do have viewers then, because mine says 0.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Does a broadcast make a sound if there's no one there to hear it? Yeah.
It's my internet. It's. Who are we gonna raid?
Who are we gonna raid?
I'll tell you who we're gonna raid. We're gonna raid. Oh, let me hit that tab then. Huh?
The Lemon Party channel.
No.
That's a different streaming service.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes.
We've got a couple. We could do Richie, who we did before, or we could do Steina Lane. Or we could go with Doctor Who and not be social and talk to people afterwards.
Don't matter. I'm going to Doctor Who after anyway to get tickets.
Doctor Who it is.
Oh, yeah, you guys weren't on yesterday. I guess it was yesterday. If you have any payment things connected to Amazon, go check it. They were hacked, and I was on the phone with Amazon and my bank to get money back because John Wick used my account.
I hate him.
He wanted to know.
Yeah, you better just let him use your account or he'll kick your ass.
With a pencil.
So, did you have to call them to check your account, or?
Well, in my bank, all this money came out I didn't spend, and it said Amazon. So I called Amazon, and they're like, "Oh, well, that's under John Wick. Is that someone you know?" I'm like, "No," and it was like 3 different ones. So
how do you check it? How do you check that?
They
Just
took it
go
out
on
of
and look
my
at
bank
orders? Well, I mean, do you just go on and look at your orders or what?
No, because it didn't show. What it was Amazon Prime stuff. I checked it was in my bank statement.
Huh.
And I got it fixed with them. Then I called my bank and got a new card and a new number and all that. So.
I like how they
really
tell
nice.
us all. I like how they tell everybody.
Well, see, Amazon didn't tell me this happened. When I called my bank, I was on hold. I'm never on hold more than like 2 minutes. I was on hold for like 10 minutes, and she said, yeah, we had a lot of calls due to Amazon getting hacked.
That's nice.
Do a closing toast.
Oh, yes.
Here's to enjoying your summertime, whatever it takes, but especially if you can enjoy it with good friends.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Here.
And I'll save that for the closing music. Don't forget, Andrea, do a shout out for your channel again, please. Make sure you join us tonight. We're going to be playing a tabletop role-playing game called Star Wars. Little thing Richard never heard of. And make sure you join us next week for all our shows, but especially Wednesday. We have one of the actors from The Hobbit, William Kircher, joining us for the afternoon and hanging out and talking about his other movies, as well as The Hobbit, as well as whatever random stuff we decide to talk about. Anybody got closing thoughts on summer and school being out? You got 30 seconds.
Make the best of it. Do something good.
Embrace
Even
it.
if it's something small.
Don't waste your time.
Yay for the first day of summer.
There we go.
Yeah.
Happy solstice?
Mm-hmm. Midsummer.
And don't forget
longest day of the
update
year,
the
right?
auto pay on your card. Yes, whatever it counts. I went and deleted all my Amazon auto pay cards. I figure I'll give them 2 weeks and I'll go plug it back in because, yeah, it's that time. Okay, guys, make sure you stick around for that raid if you like. And we are doing some outro music here. You know, let's do this first. Thanks for joining us in the discussion shenanigans tonight.
Keep rocking.
You're the one thing that makes the show what it is. Don't forget to join us at the tavern next week. Until then, have fun, keep learning, and be good to one another. Now, raise your glass in good cheer. Enjoy the small moments every day and steamy dreams every night.